Warning. The conversations in this podcast are performed by the cavemen. For your safety and the protection of those around you, please do not attempt to take anything you hear too seriously on the show.
You should be the new voiceover guy for the movies.
Everything you hear seriously.
I'm working on it. Years and years of audio recordings, man.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the cave. It's your boy Joe Reezy. I'm here with the caveman. And before we get started with the show, make sure you guys check out the comments if you want to join a community filled with crazy ass people like you and me 24/7. That's our Discord link in the comments. And if you're watching this later, you can go on our website at cave.com, k4v3.com, and join from the Patreon link over there. Tonight, we got Neek from Kultura Tattoo coming in and out. We have bad connection, so we're just going to go with it. What's up, Neek? How you doing?
What's up, guys? It's nice to be back on. It's good to see you all again.
Yeah, we got some fans. Yeah,
Some OnlyFans. If I had that, I'd be richer.
Yeah, we wouldn't have this.
I think we all would be. Did you hear like OnlyFans payout total is $6 billion total now?
Oh shit! I would argue all the guys would be broke.
Well, you know, I wasn't gonna say it, but
I think what's his face? Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. He has an OnlyFans. He's like the best MMA fighter ever.
I heard he's retiring, so I guess it's a good retirement plan.
He just recently retired, actually, but like that's what I'm saying. Like there's creative ways for men to utilize OnlyFans. You know, there's already a demographic of people there that are, you know, using the platform and have money. So, you know, what's $1 extra for, you know, some martial arts, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, is that what he's selling?
Yeah, I think he does. I think
he's
he does
teaching martial arts naked.
Yeah.
special jiu-jitsu. Special jiu-jitsu.
Yo, is that a nunchuck? No, it's my dick. Hold on.
Come on. John Cena has a OnlyFans too, bro.
Yeah, but you can't see him, so what's the point of it?
The picture of nothing.
I hear there's chefs on OnlyFans too, like if they want exclusive recipes and shit, like they show.
Here's how to cook this dish naked.
I heard that's OnlyFans though.
Those people are not making OnlyFans money though, bro. Those people are making very minimal amount of money, bro. There be some girls that be on OnlyFans. They be like, I don't even do any promoting. I make like $20K a month. And I'm like, what the fuck? $20K a month? No promoting? You probably got some fucking fucked up pixelated photos on your shit. You're still making that money.
I'll take a fucked up pixelated
photo
of
my
nipple.
Though. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, there's probably a niche audience of like pixel porn. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I was actually listening to a previous episode that we did, and you were talking about Osama bin Laden's porn collection. It was all pixel porn, right?
Yeah.
Hey, no, he got caught in his fucking cave with that shit.
That fool had a plethora of Japanese porn where everything is all blurred out.
Some hentai and shit.
Ooh, suggestive
8-bit titties.
Yeah, man. He liked that shit.
Something about them 8-bit titties, bro.
Along with all them.
It just seems like it would be pointless. I don't know. Maybe they're into the suspense, you know, like, ooh, I wonder what these cities look like.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the suspense of whether or not it was gonna buffer.
Mm-hmm. You're sitting there edging because you're trying to just make sure it buffers right. Like, hold on. You don't want to bust, and then it gets still pixelated because you're like, fuck, I wasted it.
You don't want to bust in 360p, bro.
Yeah, it's like then you really think about life decisions at that point. You're like, God, I really nutted to 360p.
I wasted it. I wasted an ancestor.
They got the other ones waiting outside the cave and shit. Like, is it my turn? Lighting up for that motherfucking satellite.
I think we broke that down deeper and actually took it seriously. That it's actually healthier to look at like less detailed porn because you leave a little bit to the imagination and you leave a little bit to yourself.
Oh yeah, it's actually.
I mean, don't you think okay, think about it like this. Let's take this seriously for a little bit. What's healthier, someone masturbating just on their own, or someone looking at a guy plow this chick and masturbating to that? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
if you're
like, I'd
creative
rather
enough in the head,
imagine,
go do
I'd rather
it, I
imagine
guess.
me doing that. So when it comes to it, I have some kind of like mental, you know what I mean? Muscle
Give me an awkward
memory
moment.
type
Someone walks
shit.
in the bathroom and you're just like,
by yourself and not watching
Instead of
nothing,
my
I don't know, bro.
mental muscle memory being like a fucking 20 versus 1 bukkake fest, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I can't get hard anymore.
Apparently, the problem with watching porn is that there's an overabundance to things that you don't naturally have access to under normal circumstances. Like under normal circumstances, you don't have.
speak for yourself. Just
You're not looking at all kinds of. Oh, okay, well, shit, man. You go go proper, man. Fuck.
Yeah,
But
no.
if you got a whole bunch of bukkakis happening around you, bro, I'm gonna be questioning what's going on in your life, nigga. But,
Yeah,
I should get this checked.
Like, if you're planning to marry,
but, it's what you
I had
see,
a
bro.
conversation with a homie back in high school. It's like he was saying, like, yo, like honestly, like I wouldn't want to like bukkake on my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as I want to do that to somebody, like I don't want to do that to the person I'm eventually gonna marry. So it's almost like an act that you want to try, but it takes a certain kind of partner to do it because you don't want.
But
to do
isn't
that to
that what
someone,
porn
like,
is
you
for?
respect,
It's fantasy.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
No,
it's fantasy, and I
It's
think like
fantasy.
Yeah, it's a fantasy of disrespect.
Yeah.
That's what it is. People just want to disrespect each other. That's what it is. That's all it is, bro. Because that shit that you're saying, you will probably never do that to the woman who has a ring on her finger, bro. But
well, I
the
mean,
first,
I think
Time out. It is fantasy, but fantasy comes from your own head. You know what I mean? But when you have people putting in like stepsister porn, like
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. You go on a
there's
Pornhub,
other
right?
fantasies
It's
to explore. You know what I mean? Before you get there, and then we can start talking about who owns the porn industry. But let's keep that for another episode. You know what I mean? But I'm
Yeah,
just
what is
implying
America's
that
weird
Is,
yeah, it's like obsession with
it ain't
family
America,
porn.
bro. It's
yeah, I know that's the weird part. I mean, okay, so in terms of like the fantasy of disrespect, right? I think it becomes disrespectful, obviously, if like the other person isn't down. But like if both people are down for that quote unquote disrespect, like I can't judge.
I mean,
True that.
And I think like an argument can be made that people become desensitized and need like let's say it's like a drug, right? And you get a hit of something and then you keep wanting more and more and more in order to be able to feel that same feeling as that first hit that you get. Like I think that argument can be made.
it can. But if you do make that argument, then you'll be defending a lot of questionable people. One such as Andrew Tate, who was caught on video smacking some girl with a belt, cussing her out. She was crying in that video. She later on went to go say, "Oh yeah, that was we were
the Matrix
just
made him
acting.
do that though.
We were just
The
role playing."
Matrix.
No, they were role playing. That's
was the
the
Matrix.
That was their story.
yeah, that's the story that they were role playing. But I mean, at
Yeah.
the same time, I've already made my case on it. Whether you're fucking around, whether she likes it or not, no guy should be putting his hand on a woman. I don't give a fuck if it's sexually provoked or whatever the case may be. Like, you should not be hitting. You automatically disqualify yourself as a man. In my point of view, once you put your hands on a woman, to
Yeah.
that degree, it doesn't matter if she's asking you for that shit or not. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. So there's a fine line. There's a fine line between, yeah, this is questionable, but
Crazy.
I'm not really gonna judge you for doing that. And then there's the other side of the line where it's like, no, you
It's
probably
abusive,
should
yeah.
not be doing that shit.
Yeah, there's
So-
definitely that line. I mean, communication is important. I think in any relationship, it's important, but especially once you start getting into those kinks, that BDSM shit, like
Mm-hmm.
both people have to be on the same page. I think it becomes abusive when you're not on the same page and one partner's like, okay, this is too far. But, again, like
if someone has to
people's
learn to
cases-
like it, kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. I think like communication is key in those situations. Like I'm not super into it, so I can't say, but if people like that, if they're both down and both people are consenting to it, they have their safety word or safe word or whatever, but referring specifically to Andrew Tate, yeah, fuck that guy. So
Yeah, so I'm just saying, you have to, it's a fine
I
line.
will say he did make some reasonable points in the past, but yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
I
every
think
person,
that guy did not age well. You know what I'm saying?
no,
every
I think-
person on this planet has something to offer, has some knowledge to give, or has learned something about
Yeah.
the way that this world functions, and but how they carry themselves after, and with that knowledge, that's left to be desired. So.
Exactly. I think we had one of the last times I was on. He did come up. This was before he got arrested for sex trafficking. But yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think that was before the first time. Yeah, that was before the first time he got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a point, though. If you're gonna get him for sex trafficking, you better get all these other motherfuckers that are obviously doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
but what is that though? Is that him being a martyr now because of it? You know what I mean? Nah, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't see him as a martyr. I see it as a necessary evil that will eventually be taken out.
I'm just saying it's a good way to reframe what's going on. You know, like I'm taking the hit, but everybody should be aware that there are other people out there. You know what I mean? It's a way to.
It's more of the guy saying, "Well, you got me. What about them?"
Yeah. What about everybody else? Yeah. You know,
he's just the dumbass that's out bragging about it on every podcast episode he can, and is like, "Oh, they're framing me," but he's out talking about it like word for word describing sex trafficking on these podcasts, and then when he gets caught, he's like, "Nah, I didn't mean that."
I just think he's kind of he plays that I'm too cool role a little too hard. Like you're on that video game playing stupid. You're fucking stupid. I'm sitting there listening like I am playing a video game. I'm not fucking stupid.
I think what I saw a clip of him where he was talking about the reason why men are no longer masculine is because they don't walk around their houses carrying a samurai sword shirtless.
Who the fuck does that?
Shit, you looking at the motherfucker with a fucking ninja band, so but go ahead.
Samurai swords.
You ain't got no samurai swords?
Oh, Reese feels like a man right now. He's like, yeah, that's me.
I had this shit before Andrew Tate was going around doing his bullshit. Come on now.
My samurai sword's in the garage, but I have ninja stars. I have throwing knives.
I have balisongs. I'll walk around without a shirt on my balisong. How's that?
I got
hyper masculine, dude. Fucking alpha right there. Ninja stars. So step up.
So I don't know. There, like you guys said, there's some merit to some of the things he says has merit, but
I actually just heard. I reheard one of Kendrick Lamar's past albums. I think it's Mr. Morale or High Steppin' or whatever the fuck. But he had that lyric. Someone, I think he said, he made you think about it, but he's not your savior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cole made you talk about it, but he is not your savior. That bit or that song. And I just think that that's so relevant now. I feel like people, especially now that podcasts are abundant, there's a lot of influencers now. People get obsessed with the high of giving the good information that they enjoy being the source of the information. When it's like, you know what I mean? Like you were just kind of a vessel for that message to transfer through. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You're not God or the prophet.
Oh yeah, I get into this shit all the time, especially with family members, because like I'll be talking about, oh yeah, so and so said this, it holds some weight, and they're like, automatically they're like, oh, you glorify this person. I'm like, no, the fuck I don't. Just because Elon Musk and I agree on some things in regards to AI doesn't mean that I worship the fucking ground that this man walks on. Yeah. I've already made it blatantly clear that I think a vast majority of men are pieces of shit. You know what I mean? And the ones that are special are hidden in darkness. That's how I view things. So it's like I already have kind of a pessimistic view when it comes to guys. And I think niggas need to lock it in and, just start working harder and shit and stop focusing on the bullshit. But, people want to paint it as me supporting red pill and me not blue pill. I'm not no pill, to be honest with you, bro. I'm sitting here watching y'all motherfuckers take these pills, bro. I'm detoxing from all that shit.
Wait, you guys are taking pills?
He's like, where?
That's great. You know what? That's always nice to hear.
Yeah, like Donald Trump. I openly say like I agree with a lot of shit this guy says, but I also think he's a fucking idiot. It's nice. Donald Trump's a dumbass, but like it's just I had a conversation recently with this guy about just small talking. He's talking about the election. He's like, who you going for? I was like, they're both fucking retarded. That's what I told him.
Thank you.
And he's like, you think Trump is? I was like, dude, like he has a lot of good policies and all, but really, this is who we have to like represent us. This idiot. This is the guy that we're gonna like. He's speaking for us. He's like, yeah, but he's part of the people. I was like, so you're gonna let a dumbass be the representative for the people?
Yeah. My thing is, They're all
Fuck RFK
pawns.
too, bro.
They're all pawns, and this is a proxy. We are parts of the proxy, and you know you have one side that is controlled by the Saudis, and you have another side that's controlled by we can't say who. It's like
Say it.
Voldemort. It's
Say it.
like Voldemort. Y'all know who Voldemort is, so. But that's just how it is, bro.
Ralph Fiennes, yeah.
Say it. Say it, damn it.
Man, I don't know. It's what's called. It's obvious, and I feel like I don't know. I don't want to get into it because it's a touchy
puppet
subject,
game, bro. That's all it is. It's a puppet game. It's a war between oligarchs.
But my thing is this: when it comes to Trump, Trump was supposed to be like stone cold, right? He was supposed to be the guy for the people.
Just keep the shirt on.
You know what I mean? He was supposed to be the rebel, but when it comes out that he's still part of the game, to me, it's just like that whole facade kind of falls apart. You know what I mean? And when there's people still like, oh, he's playing 4D chess, it's like, come on, dude. You know what I mean?
No, he's smart.
You make
smart,
me
bro.
embarrassed to even have considered your side because it's like, damn, I was like that. You know what I mean? God damn,
Bro, when you become president, you're not even privy to half of the fucking black projects that are on, you know, that are like being funded secretly.
Yeah.
Once you start realizing what the fuck's really
even
going
if
on,
you know, even
your
if you
mind
know of
gets
some.
opened up. Your mind gets opened up and you
Yeah.
realize just
I'm
how
just gonna-
small you are. What's happening?
I've always found it curious that, you know, like he was seen as. I've always found it curious that he was seen as a rebel and like not part of the system, but he's always been a millionaire. He's always been in the top 1%. So one of the things I found interesting is that people were seeing him as the savior of the middle class, right? Like he's going to be working. He's going to be the representative, the savior of the middle class, the working class, right? But
Right.
I just was never entirely sure where that idea came from, aside from the things that he was saying. But like, to me, I never saw anything that he was doing currently or in the past to lift up the working class or the middle class. Like he's always been part of the elite.
Always.
To me,
He's a elite.
I have to
guess,
give him
like-
credit.
Like,
I have to give him credit with how he's able to present himself because, like I said on another show, the fact that he had the assassination attempt, whether it's real or not, like to have RFK endorse you after that is some pretty gangsta shit. You know what I mean? Like you definitely sealed the votes of a certain demographic of people. You know what I mean?
oh, when he put his
So
fist up,
as far as like some WWE presentation wise, like you have, I give you credit for that. But on the real, I don't think you're the guy for the job because like we really need someone who's going to take this seriously because I feel like we're in a crucial point in U.S. history right now.
I mean, when
One
he
who's a
after
brokey.
got
You need a
shot,
brokey
like,
to do it.
stuck his fist up in the air and, you know, saying fight. That's incredibly brave. Like you said, you give him credit for that. That's a very brave thing. That's, again, assuming it's real. I think people see that and they feel like, yeah, he's the guy that's gonna fight for us. Like he gets shot, and even immediately after that, he's showing strength. So he definitely turned that to his advantage. If he had actually died, though, people would have rallied even more. Honestly, I'm pretty positive there would have been like riots or something.
Oh yeah,
Definitely,
that
there would have been
crazy.
some
That
riots.
shit would have went crazy.
But he's a
It
Saudi
would have been
pawn.
like January 6th, but like
He's a Saudi pawn.
I agree.
He owes money to the Saudis.
another thing that pisses me off about this is if you criticize one side, they automatically assume that you're rocking.
You're the
for
other.
other side.
That's
So
what I'm
said,
saying,
fuck
bro.
Kamala Harris too, bro.
It's just so fucking annoying, bro. Like how many
honestly-
times do I gotta tell people?
I endorse. I'll make it known right now. I endorse Biden, bro. Bring back Biden. BRB.
Should I endorse?
What the
BBB.
fuck?
I endorse.
B's.
ERB.
I endorse
Triple
Buddha.
B's. Bring back Biden.
I endorse Buddha, Vishnu, and Christ.
You're telling me that? Okay.
President dog.
Triple B's. Yeah, you should get that fucking endorsement.
BBB.
You're not telling me that 10 years later, You're not gonna look back at Biden highlights and see like all this shit and laugh at it, dog.
Nigga,
I've been laughing at all his presidency.
Dude,
I'd be laughing at every single presidency. I'd be laughing at the. I was laughing at the George W. Bush.
Yeah, I watched George W. Bush highlights when he fucking dodges the shoe. That shit is
Oh,
funny.
bruh, yeah, they tried to smack that fool got fucking felony charge for throwing a shoe.
I watched Trump highlights when he was shooting the fucking paper towels and shit. Like
I watched a Biden highlight where he was falling off the airplane steps.
Oh god, that shit was fucking hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie, that shit was hilarious, bro.
The best Biden one is when he's riding the bike and he's just like, and he just goes to the side.
It's like that Windows sound effect when it shuts down. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
I'm out. Hey, I'm not defending. I'm not defending Biden. I'm not defending Biden. But recently, Jermaine, you were there, right, at the beach when the guy fell on the bike.
Oh yeah.
So something I noticed is because he fell slowly on the bike too, right, Jermaine?
Yeah.
And
I
he
was watching that
old.
shit. I was like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, he wasn't old, but his shoes were clipped to the pedals.
Yeah.
So when your shoes are clipped to the pedals and you're falling, it's like you're fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost you're seeing the person go from I can't do anything to shit. I'm gonna fucking fall now. You know?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to review that Biden clip and make sure he was wearing no shoes. I'll give him the pass if it's those shoes, but if he's wearing regular shoes, like no, Biden.
Yeah, right. He's got the kickstand.
You were rocking Jordans.
But one thing, I'm gonna tie this in and bring it back to Tate. One thing I don't like about Trump, like one thing that always stuck out to me about Trump was I don't think he's for uniting the people. You know what I mean? That's why I call him WWE, because I feel like he thrives off negative energy too. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's the most divisive president, and like some of his backers are super racist, bro. Like, and I'm gonna tie this back into Andrew Tate. The one thing for me that made me turn around and be like, fuck this guy, was the fact that he was dropping hard R's, you know? Like, I think the N-word's being thrown around too loosely now, and it's kind of scary because when or if Trump doesn't win, then you still know that there's racist people like this that are living amongst you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was also fair to highlight that the racist people are the actual minorities. It's not us.
Yes, they are.
And
that is true too.
They're like, these fucking minorities are taking over the country. It's like the only minorities in this country is you guys, because it's a loud minority that shouts.
If it wasn't for the electoral vote, you motherfuckers would be minuscule.
Yeah. Oh, there would be no chance in the voting if it wasn't for yeah, you're correct, but. You always have those people tell you, like, you should vote. It's going to make a difference. Like, you don't know how the electoral college works, don't you? Like, we learned this in high school. Come on, this is sophomore shit.
Yeah.
Shit, bro. I mean, for what it's worth, man, like I said before, the rulers change, but the kings stay the same. You feel me? Stay on your grind and figure out how the program is being fucking operated and move accordingly, bro. You can't control who's going to be in office, man. But you can control how you react to it and how you succeed moving forward from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucking both, bro.
That's why I don't even focus on it.
It's funny how Putin came out. He's like, we're going to support Kamala.
That shit was retarded, bro. I seen that shit. That motherfucker was smiling. I've never seen him smile so much.
I think he's trolling. He's trolling hard.
Trolling like a motherfucker, bro.
I will say this: if you're tuning in and keeping track of the election, but from a not too heavily invested perspective, it's fucking entertaining and it's funny, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is. It's become like new reality TV. To be honest with you, it's just like, oh no, what's happening now? You know, it's like Jersey Shore kind of.
Yeah, it's a literal reality TV show.
Hey man, all that's missing is the sex. Oh, never mind. They got that happening at Epstein's Island.
Trump's grabbing him by the pussy. What you talking?
Oh man, and then another thing too, bro. People like people need to understand. You can't get mad at age gap between man and woman if you're voting for Trump, bro, because What's the age difference between?
Oh yeah,
Trump and
there's
his
that
wife?
too, man. All these
Yeah.
people talking pedophiles and they're Trump supporters. Like
That's what I'm fucking saying. That is the icing on the cake, bro. Like niggas need to shut up after that, bro. Like if you're endorsing Trump and you're against the whole pedophilia shit and you're against age gaps, then you need to change your voting strategy, bro. Because Trump is extremely older than his current wife, and he does questionable shit with his daughter. You feel me? So
this is the other thing. This is the other thing, bro.
yeah.
Like when you have pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell with Biden, it's automatically, oh look, I told you, bro. I told you. When picture comes out with Trump and Epstein or Trump and Ghislaine, which there are both, it's oh no, he turned him in. Like how
Okay. How long after the picture did he turn him in?
right.
He took that picture years ago and he's just
After
barely
how
turning
many
him in.
little
Come on.
boys?
Man.
and something Danny mentioned all the time too is Obama got rid of Osama, and they were kind of a match, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did Trump and Epstein, you know. So there's kind of that too. You need a good guy and a bad guy to make this shit work because it's all about polarity, really, to get energy or latent, you know what I mean, motion to move to push it one way or other.
You know, just touch it back on that whole, like, you know, Donald Trump saying weird shit about his daughter. Remember when he openly said, like, he was talking about his daughter. He's like, you know, if she wasn't my daughter, you know, I would totally, you know, date her. I was like, that's fucking weird.
Good. She's pretty good. She has.
You know, I've seen her. She's a beautiful person.
She's got a beautiful pair of tits.
That's just like I just seen a video of like this older chick in her 30s. It was like a podcast or whatever. She was like telling them. She was telling the podcasters, "Yeah, I'm okay with incest if da 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 da." And then the podcaster said, "Hold on, like you need to rewind that."
She's always talking like this, like, let me tell you.
No, the motherfuckers be on some weird shit.
Let me tell you, I saw them when she was 8. They were pretty great.
People on some weird shit now, bro. I don't know.
Yo. Yeah, you gotta drop the Ayo for that one.
Let me find that shit.
No, you need
In
to
Donald Trump's voice. Ayo.
Yeah, right.
Shit, man.
I don't know. It's wild, bro. It's wild. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, I do think that there's power in sexual energy, right?
Yeah.
And so when it's getting hacked via like perverted porn, then you kind of lose a little bit of vigor. Then you lose a little bit of your self-will. You know what I mean? Or your sexual energy, your creative energy gets clouded or polluted type
Stop
shit. You know what I mean?
subscribing to OnlyFans, damn it. You
Yeah,
fucking
so-
scrubs.
All I gotta
Stop
say is if
reading
you're
this
subscribing to OnlyFans, you dumb because it's free everywhere else.
shit. Stop it, bro. It's
They
so
like the personal customized messages though. I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
because
they
it's some dude in the Philippines messaging you back like, yes, you are very lovely.
Hey, how crazy is that? Literally, all call centers are from the Philippines.
It is.
Isn't that
I call
weird,
American Express. It's a hello, thank you, American Express. I was like, you know, you'd expect to talk to an American when you call American Express. I was like, I don't have a problem. All right, help me out. But
right. Instead of saying thank you after I hang up, or before I hang up, I say salamat po. Shit.
I know, right? And then I try speaking to them in Tagalog just to see if they crack, and they're like, "Oh, I can't because we're being recorded."
Funny.
By who? The feds? What's going on?
They're gonna get audited.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary on, I think it was Max or Netflix, but it was this guy. He had this crazy case that was on him, but one of the evidence was that he signed up for these accounts for Adult Friend Finder. And he was like, I never made those accounts. So they tried to dispute it, and they called Adult Friend Finder. And sure enough, dude, the call center was a Filipino, dude.
They're all Filipinos.
What's the email on the account?
It's always a dead giveaway when they answer, "Yes, ma'am, sir." It's like,
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
Okay, here we go.
They're getting better though. I've been calling a few times. They got their accents on point a little bit.
Yeah, there's been good ones, and then there's some that's just very like, "Oh, you're new."
Yeah.
Shit, regardless, you got to
Okay.
give Filipinos credit. Fucking English. is like
I
their
was about to
fucking
say
main
it might be biased, but as far as like an immigrant that's able to assimilate quickly, I think you got to give it to the Filipinos as far as their adaptability. You know, fast
Yeah,
learners. I feel like.
Yeah, you know,
And we
Koreans
get
go
the
to the
lingo,
Philippines.
you know, we could use the slang to make it.
Yeah.
seem
I was gonna say them
Yeah, we
Koreans
know.
be up in fucking
in the
Texas
Philippines to learn.
Yo, they be
to learn
sounding
English.
like black. They be sounding like black people in the middle of the fucking ghetto, talking about yelling at motherfuckers, get out the fucking convenience store for I'll whoop your ass. And then fucking,
You
they
said
saying the N word, and all the black people in the fucking convenience store is okay with it. Like Koreans and Filipinos, bro. Like
It's like don't be a menace. Hurry up and buy. She's in the
hell no.
freezer. Hurry up.
Hell
and
no,
buy.
he was instilling fear in those Asian people. This fool, there's a video if you look it up on YouTube that the Asian guy, he's like running around the corner about to scrap some older black dude because the black dude's like giving him some problems, some shit like that.
Yeah, I think I seen that video.
Yeah, bro.
He
Some
comes around
just
the
Asians
he
in
comes
general.
around the bulletproof glass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was ready for smoke, bro. He didn't give a fuck.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
one of the reasons why Filipinos are, their English is so good or whatever is because of America's policy of imperialism, like they're required to learn English in their schools. I know my mom specifically, they were not allowed to speak in Tagalog in a lot of their classes because they have to speak English,
Mhm.
So that explains a lot of it. And then also the diaspora. One of the largest exports for the Philippines is labor. That's why we're all over the place, and so Filipinos are forced to assimilate wherever they go because there's more and better opportunities abroad than there are in the Philippines.
Yep.
So
I'll take it
Yeah.
a step further. Within the Philippines, there's already multiple dialects too. You know what I mean? There's Ilocano.
Over
there's regular
700.
Tagalog. Yeah, so I think the program to learn language is already instilled, so you can kind of plug
Yeah.
and play, and tinker with certain.
We're the
certain,
leading.
statistics
Philippines is a
or
leading
whatever.
English-speaking country. I think it's like number one too. And,
Oh, talaga?
yeah.
Talaga?
Pocket why, naman.
I know, right?
Talaga?
Yeah. And then like you have
64.
different Asian like people like Japanese, Koreans. They come to the Philippines to learn English out there because English is a primary language to learn out there. You don't graduate unless you know how to speak English. Despite your accent, you better know how to speak it. So yeah, that's why you see a lot
Oh,
of
really?
oh sure.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
that's a really good point though. That maybe because the Philippines, like within the Philippines, it's so diverse that it is easier for people to assimilate when they go elsewhere because they're used to the diversity. That's an interesting thought that I haven't seen. I haven't seen it be raised before. So.
Oh yeah, because
Also-
I mean, there's a lot of Hindu shit, a lot of Catholic shit out there, and then there's
Muslims.
a bunch of Muslims out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
just a melting pot. You would not have even thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Yeah, the melting pot thing. I was watching a documentary on the Polynesians because that was for sure the Philippines. Filipinos, our base ethnicity, I thought was Polynesians or Islanders, right? But apparently when the Polynesians visited and settled in the Philippines, there was already people here, you know what I mean? So I think it might be more, I don't know if it's more,
They say Austronesians.
yeah, some shit like that.
It is Austronesian, like Australian.
You know, it's funny whenever they say like, "Hey, they discovered the Philippines." Like, no, you didn't. They were always there. You just happened to stumble upon them.
Right. You mean you named it Philippines?
They
Yeah.
named it after King Philip, right? In Spain.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why they named it Philippines.
Yeah, Philip II.
And that's why in return we cut off Magellan's head.
There you go.
Yes.
Who was the dude that cut off his head again?
Lapu Lapu.
Lapu Lapu,
Yeah.
Lapu Lapu. The king of
See, I'm gonna be a
Mactan.
man and walk around my house in my lapu lapu get up with my balisong, just
The king of Mactan answers
ass
to no
cheeks
one.
just hanging out. Dad, what are you doing? Sorry, this is a man.
This is your culture, child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The king of Mactan slays
Large
Catholics
group
on
of
the
people
beach.
in Taiwan, maritime Southeast Asia, parts of mainland Southeast Asia, Micronesia. I wonder if they got micro penises over there. Coastal New Guinea, island.
They got growers, not showers.
Hey, man.
Polynesian and Madagascar speak Indonesian languages.
Sorry.
I like
Also,
that.
like,
I'm actually Austronesian, so please don't assume my ethnicity.
You're Ashineses?
You need some lotion for that one.
Yeah, man. That's interesting though, because I feel like for me, my paradigm was shattered when I'm like, wait, are we Asian or Pacific Islanders? You know?
Wasn't that like the number one argument between Philippines? We're not Asian, we're Pacific. Yeah, the Asians.
And then we had our own
Pacific
bubble.
Islanders.
We're like, oh shit, little island, we got our own bubble in the whole in the Scantron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're doing good, bro.
My world was blown when I
We got the map.
learned that
Asian,
Pablo Sayal.
Hawaiian, Polynesian, and then Filipino.
Yeah, it's like,
right.
yeah,
Decided what we were
even Scantron's letting us figure this shit out. It's like, yeah, I'm Filipino. It's like,
Yo, I bubbled that
But
shit in
also
so
the term-
nicely, dog.
The term Filipino originally referred to Spaniards who were born in the Philippines. So, I mean, it had a different meaning than it does now.
yeah, the motherfuckers even made
the
a
actual, like, the
chocolate bar after us. Was it Filipinos?
The-
Have you seen that
the-
shit in Spain that they eat?
they were-
Fucking weird.
Are you for real?
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
They have that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
look it up. It's a chocolate bar called
Jesus
Filipinos in Spain.
It's like it's either a chocolate bar or like a chocolate donut type of thing.
Yeah, something like that. But it's
fucking fun.
it's a treat for them because they get to eat us.
Oh, yeah, it's called
Dude,
Philippine.
The original
have doubted
term that they
were doing
use.
that shit.
There it is. Oh, Cloud9's my shit though. When I used to live in the Philippines, I used to eat
I fucks
that.
with Cloud9.
There, Filipinos.
And it's an entire candy bar called Filipinos.
That's
Yeah,
Chocolate was
that's-
fire. The driest chocolate bar I ever had, but it's fire.
If I saw someone at the bus or something eating that, I feel like I wouldn't know whether to confront them or not, you know, or be like, "Hey, let me try that shit."
I would tell them how does it taste having that Filipino in your mouth? How does it taste having
Have
that
you seen
Filipino in your
that
mouth?
clip?
Nice and
Have you
melty,
guys seen
huh?
that clip where the Filipino guy, he's like on the computer and a picture of the Philippines comes up and he's like, "Ay, Filipino, Filipino,
Oh, he's like, "Oi,
Philippines."
Philippines." That guy.
yeah.
That
See, that's
fucking
gonna be you when
hilarious.
you see someone eating the Filipino candy bar.
Or
Yeah,
like
because it's like every time like Filipinos mention like in anything, they're like, "Oi, Philippines." You know, that's
or,
just
or like
hilarious.
even that scene in
So
Spider-Man
prideful.
with the Lola.
Every side and
Spider-Man.
pride.
I think
Yeah.
the same dude was like, "Oi, Philippines."
Yeah.
The Spider-Man scene.
And then everyone like cut that TikTok up and just put it on everything. It's hilarious.
Hey
Yeah.
man, one way to go viral. Talk about
You
the
know, what's so
Philippines.
interesting is that it's so interesting that, I mean, I don't know if the term nationalism would be the correct use for this, but it's interesting that Filipino nationalism expands to Filipinos across every part of the globe. You know, it's not just in the Philippines; it's Filipinos everywhere. And I know other cultures have this as well, but I don't know if I've seen it to the same degree.
Wouldn't that be more
as it
like
is with
patriotism?
Philippines, if that makes sense.
Wouldn't that be more like patriotism? Because patriotism doesn't just
Patriotism,
mean American,
it's a better term.
you know.
I don't
But
know,
what's
though.
crazy
I
is
feel
like you said, Filipinos are all over the place. They're fucking the Miss Universe, all that shit. Is like, oh, from New Zealand, and you're like, oh, she's Filipino.
they're
Oh,
fucking
shout
the
out
Miss
to my
Universe.
sister. Shout out to my sister. She competed
Miss
in Miss
Philippines.
Philippines USA, Joyce Santiago. She's now a model. Just came back from New York Fashion Week. Check out her
shit.
Instagram. What's her Instagram? Type it out.
Joyce. Yeah, I actually met
Her
her
up.
when we were doing all that. Then she did stuff for my mom's production company. That was cool.
You did.
Mhm.
You did. That's so true. I can type it in here, right? Joyce. Joyce Santiago. There you
I don't
go.
know though. You said nationalism or patriotism. I feel like it's more just like vibe. You know what I mean? Because Filipinos fuck other Filipinos over. You know, it's just certain Filipinos that they
Mhm.
vibe with. I feel like that they take care of. You know what I mean? Because going back to the Philippines, we were ruled by, like I said, Japanese people, European people, Spaniards. So we had different owners, and I feel like we fucked each other over to seem more loyal to our owners so we get swagged out by them. But there's certain Filipinos that you probably have like some familial ties with that you won't ever fuck over. You know what I mean? Or certain Filipinos that helped you out, and it's almost like, hey, I'm not gonna fuck you over because you helped me out in the past, type shit.
Right.
So it's
I
more
mean,
like
and I think it was.
it transcends deeper than patriotism and nationalism. It's more like energetic type shit. You know what I mean?
Vibism.
Yeah, vibism. This one, right?
Yeah, it's my sister. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think she's competing in another one. I completely forgot what it's called, but she's going to be competing
She's really short in
against-
person.
She is really tiny. She's super short.
Yeah.
But she's going to be competing again sometime soon. I forgot exactly. Oh, it says it literally right there. It's Miss World America Sunshine. So when that happens, you guys go vote or however it works when people do pageants. I don't know.
Hell
Is
yeah.
there like online voting?
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's one. It's like the People's Choice Award. I think it's what it's called. You can like donate money, and whoever gets the most money donated under their name is.
That's what I was about to get into. A lot of these things also money. So if you have someone in there, you got money, they can win as long as you bring a lot of money.
Yeah, so everybody send $1 for my sister. If everybody sends $1, it'll help.
Hell yeah. Mabuhay.
Yeah.
Mabuhay.
That's the thing too.
Salamat sa
Filipinos,
Diyos.
when they support you, they fucking fully support you. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't
That's
know
the
of
thing
any
about-
other kind of people that like that can comfort you when you're taking an L than a Filipino that has your back, dude.
Yeah.
It feels like they're taking that L with you, and it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, Manny Pacquiao, for one, was showing how united
Yeah.
that country could be because if you remember, no crime. He brought everyone, and everyone, like, even though like they tried to put out things like, oh, well, he's doing this and that, people are like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No,
See,
literally.
Filipinos respect hierarchy. That's the thing. Filipinos respect
Yeah.
status and hierarchy. Like they're
That's a
like
good way to
in
put it.
America, you could put in X amount of work, have X amount of status, X amount of fame, have these accolades, have these licensings, these degrees, and motherfuckers will still disrespect the dog shit out of you. You know what I mean? And treat you like you have not just put in years and years of effort
Would
and work.
you
know
say
what I'm
that
saying?
it's because it's in the American DNA to revolt and eventually like rise up? You know what
I
I
wouldn't
mean?
say American DNA. I would say American principles.
Because it's in there, that's what made them. So why wouldn't they have that in them type shit?
So
And
okay,
and going back
so-
to the Philippines, like we're a tribe, right? So tribalism, hierarchy, it all fits in that. kind of
Correct. If you're not putting
matrix,
in
you know?
work, you're just as much as a
Yeah.
loser as the next one, and they're gonna treat
Right.
you like that.
Well, Western culture in general is very individualistic, I guess would be the word I would use, whereas Eastern, like Asian countries, a lot of countries outside the States basically focus more on what's good for the community.
Mhm.
So even if something doesn't necessarily, like let's say I'm living in the Philippines or in Filipino culture, right? Let's say even if something doesn't benefit me personally, I'm more likely to, it's a generalization, but you're more likely to do it because it's going
Conform.
to benefit the family versus in America, it's really just about what I want. If that doesn't benefit me, then, fuck that.
Yeah, the mentality here, and I see it a lot, and we're gonna bring up like white people. Fuck you, mom. You get that a lot.
bruh.
You do that in your Filipino family. They're like, "What? What the fuck did you say?"
Smack
And
the
you're
shit
gonna
out of you,
smack
bruh.
the shit out of you. I don't give a
Yo, I
fuck
seen
if
this
you're 18.
Stupid ass
Fuck if
little.
you're 25.
I seen a stupid ass little white boy out here, bro. Like his mom bought him everything, put him in a house, a 2-story house in a very expensive community. These houses are like $900,000 out here, bro. And he's very ungrateful, cussing her out and shit. She's like buying him a car. He's like cussing her out while she's buying the car. I'm like, bro, you need to get your ass beat right now.
Yeah.
Right now, bro. So
No, he might be knowing how to play the game. That's how you get an upgrade,
Oh
Some
yeah,
people
let me
just
go
take
try
what they
that at
give, and
home.
It's like, how's mom supposed to know? How's mom supposed to know this ain't the one I want?
He finna
Yeah,
get
okay, let me go
upgraded.
home and tell my mama that, hey, mom, fuck you. Okay, let me get you a house.
Upgraded ass
Mom,
Finna get an upgraded ass beating while you get here in Putang in the morning, Putang Scott. Shit.
I think that's where it comes from.
I'm sorry, I just want to
My
make.
mom still smacks me in the back of the head.
Manny Pacquiao. I feel bad for like this younger generation of Filipinos because they ain't never gonna experience a Manny Pacquiao party like how we.
Oh,
experienced
never.
a Manny
Never.
Pacquiao
Yeah.
party.
Oh, yeah, whenever-
Dude, Manny
whenever got
Pacquiao
closer-
Oh, man.
The closest are the Irish people with McGregor.
Yeah,
But that
yeah,
era
yeah,
is
True.
over.
But like,
I
you know what's funny?
that era
Like
is
speaking on Pacquiao parties, You'd go there and you could tell who like actually watches boxing. Like, oh, that shit was nice. And then you got the Filipinos going crazy over every little punch. Like, oh. It's like he missed. Just so you know, he didn't fucking
He's
land
walking
it.
out, Grandma.
Yeah, he missed. None of those shots connected, but okay.
Yeah, they just like.
I'm gonna take it there, bro. I feel like it was clear during the Mayweather fight.
Yeah, here we go. Of course.
I mean, that's what I think. Just saying. But
Hey, he landed some shots on there, but we all know Mayweather's he's a very good textbook fighter, and I had the fight at my house too, and like I remember, you guys know Obs and all of them, and
Yeah.
dude, that shit was hilarious. Like, no, he fucked him up. I was like, he landed some good shots, but he didn't win that fight, bro. Like, no, man, they cheating him. Come on, bro. Like,
He wasn't as
like,
accurate
hey,
as
hold
he
up.
usually was in that fight. And,
Time out. Did you see that? Did you see that most recent Pacquiao exhibition match
I didn't even bother.
against
who?
what's his
Honestly.
face, Rukia Anpo?
Oh, the
Japanese
Japanese
guy, right?
guy?
Yeah.
Or Korean dude? That guy was good, dog. That was kind of a scary fight.
I think I heard about because of that, it made Pacquiao think about coming back. He's like, fuck, I don't know if I should come back anymore. Because he was supposed to come back and fight some other dude. I forgot the guy's name. And after that exhibition, he's like, oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Hey,
feel
if you're
like he's
listening,
bored.
watch that fight.
Or needs money.
Yeah, it
I feel
sounds
like
like.
Manny Pacquiao's bored and like he is like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, and maybe I'll do another boxing match. Maybe I'll stop politics. Like I feel like he doesn't know what he wants to do. He's done
Manny,
everything.
if you're watching this, Manny, just go golf. Just enjoy your time and go golf with Canelo or something.
Yeah, and you could leave politics alone.
Yeah, just go golf.
I was talking to a friend about this, man, and okay, so we talked about the Pacquiao parties, and no one's really ever experienced that, you know, besides probably the McGregor fans and Irish people, right?
Right.
Well, what comes with that though is the high that you get from not only focusing on fighting, like honing in and focusing on fighting, and having a team back you up. Again, we're talking about having people behind your back, right? And executing that game plan to a perfect, like down to a T, where you knock them out the way Pacquiao and McGregor are knocking these people out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then being, you know, going back home and becoming a politician because of that. Like when that music settles down, it's very quiet after, because that's such a fucking high that not a lot of people get. You talk about runner's high. Now fucking input like a training camp, you know what I mean? And these are highs that don't require drugs, that like are supernatural. So the endorphins you're getting is kind of unmatched. And I think that's why some fighters fall into drugs after, because they're trying to catch that shit. You know what I mean? So like you got to give respect to people like George St. Pierre and the fighters that stay retired, because they're able to focus on the next chapter. But it's crazy seeing people like Pacquiao with the highs that they were at. And you see it with McGregor. I feel like McGregor should retire, but the highs that he reached, just like Pacquiao, you always feel like you can do it one more time. You know what I mean?
But do you feel like it's their feeling of obligation to keep giving back to their fans, because their fans have given so much to them to elevate them to this level? Do you think it's probably that mindset that they're kind of stuck on, but they're also not following that father time, and their body's not really catching up with that anymore? Because, dude, Pacquiao, like, you know, I know there's varying opinions about Pacquiao within the boxing scene. They have different opinions, like, oh, he was okay as a fighter, but you've never seen a stadium like that in boxing ever, where the fans were just littered, and you see all these flags, just Filipino flags. And remember when Pacquiao versus, like, it was like the Mexican assassin, or whatever they were calling, the Mexicutioner, and he had all these crazy names. Like, you've never seen a stadium packed just because they're going crazy for one guy. You know, it's
Let's be fair though, like a fraction of those people don't know shit about boxing, you know?
that, yeah, I mean, you could, that could be very true. What I'm saying is, you've never seen someone backed as much as like even if they didn't really know who he was. You've never seen casual fans out.
Oh, but why I bring that up is because I do think the fans contribute to that effect, because
Of course.
the people that don't know boxing see the Mayweather fight and they're like, oh, he didn't win, he didn't knock him out. You know what I mean? They're just there for the knockout. So I think they're a little uneducated on the fact that fighters have a shelf life, and the older you get, you kind of have to change the way you fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And so the people that are fans of knockout artists like Mike Tyson, McGregor, or Pacquiao, sometimes they don't transition into enjoying the intricate details of the sweet science, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
So-
you say after Triple
At the
G,
same time,
you know?
though, that's on the fighter. That's on the fighter
Yeah.
to be like, I know myself. I don't have what it takes anymore. So you know, I'll quit on
Why
top.
would they
And
enjoy
I've given you guys a fucking badass resume. You know what I mean?
They don't have
Compare
no
this
real.
to Onyok Velasco, bro. Onyok Velasco ain't
Those
shit.
people
to
are
this.
not
You know what I'm saying?
invested. Those people are not invested in it, you know, especially because like you have to look at Filipino nature. Both Filipino men and Filipino women are extremely hypergamous. When my stepfather passed away, my mom, she's a high earner. She's 100K out here in California, 100K a month. She had all kinds of guys hitting her up like, "Are you still trying to get married?" I'm like, dude, she's like a senior citizen, bro. Calm the fuck down. Chill the fuck out. You know
Hey,
what I'm
Brady,
saying? Like,
what's your mom doing? What's your
fucking
mom doing? What's your
retard,
mom
bro.
at? It's like,
Like,
bro,
bro.
you need to be in a retirement home too.
Motherfuckers
Is your
are
mom still
hypergamous.
here?
They want status, bro. They want status. They want fame. They want glory. And most of all, they want power, bro.
Yeah.
That's why all that shit was like circulating around Manny Pacquiao at his peak, because that is the epitome. You're getting to see the epitome of power in its most raw and most pure form, bro, flowering before your eyes. You know, that's what draws people in. I'm not just Filipinos, not just men, not just women. It draws in everybody and everything. You create a vortex of gravity. That gravity well sucks everything in, good and bad. You got to take all that shit when it comes,
Yeah.
you know, and when it stops vibrating and energy ceases, just like you said, Joe, like you gotta be ready to deal with that fucking quiet, you know.
Yo, it's crazy
Or
how this
else it's
goes
gonna
back
drive you
full
crazy.
circle, because you saw it with the manager that took advantage of Pacquiao, who also wasn't he Filipino too? So again, like Filipinos fucking over Filipinos for the bread. You know what I mean?
The power, bro. The power. It absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's why when you
Yeah,
get
man.
it, you got to spread it out and give it to your family and give it to your friends and put all the money and the assets in your mom's fucking name. So you can't do no stupid shit with it. And if somebody comes at you and tries to extort you for it, they can't get nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Assuming your mom is not, assuming your mom's good.
Great
Oh yeah,
point.
assuming you have
Great
a castle around
That
her.
old Filipino dude hitting up Brent. Where's your mom, dude?
Where's your mom?
Hey, Brandon, where's your mom, dude?
Sweet husband.
Why the fuck are you saying dude?
Do you remember your mom? Yeah, dude, I remember my mom.
I'm just saying though, like, and it's fucking weird because, like, as a man, you should be wanting to get resources, not relying on your woman to do that shit. I mean, like I guess there's a lot of girls that are like, oh, I want to take my guy out on a date. Oh, I want to buy him this, that. I want to make him feel good. That's totally fucking fine. But when you start doing that over and over and over again for a man will become complacent. He'll become lazy. And he'll become comfortable, and he'll become a fat slob, and you will not love him. That's what happens. Like, you better send him out there to go bring the fucking lion back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do something.
Just to go back on Filipinos reacting to certain Filipinos and they get excited about it. I feel like in going back to the language thing and them having the program to learn language and it being about energy instead of patriotism or, nationalism. You see it too when they get excited. You see the facial expression, you see them light up, and then the language comes after. You know what I mean? Because it's almost trying to process that excitement from Tagalog or whatever dialect into English. So there's a little bit of buffer for it to be like, oh, you're Filipino. But if you already come from that tribe, you sense it as soon as it happens when they have that wide-eye moment and they just kind of spark an energy. You know what I mean? And going back to language, I feel like they're really good at language. Yo, you know what's up when I do this and I point with my lip. You know what I mean? You know what's up when I do... I don't got to say shit. You know what I'm saying? You already know what's up. So I feel like, I don't know, it's some kind of energetic, like native, primitive kind of communication that they've tapped into, and they can kind of plug and play different languages. And you know what I mean?
It's in the blood, it's in the DNA, and in the pheromones. That's what I think. Because like Filipino girls, they smell a little different, man. Like the natural smell of Filipino girls. Yeah, I can distinguish a Filipino girl just from
How it smell like? Calamansi or what?
like
Or patis, dog.
like pompono and fish sauce. Don't forget the tomatoes.
Bagoong or what?
Nasty, bro.
Like garlic rice.
Ooh.
I don't know what kind of Filipinos you be smelling
That shit's
shit.
good, though.
The ones that cook too much.
Yeah, what the fuck
The
are
ones
you?
that feed you with their bare hand. I say, kinda.
Feeding you with the bear. I'm like, I can do it, man. Get your hand out of my mouth.
Shit. The lolas that say if you don't finish your food, when you fall asleep, your ghost escapes from the body and gets trapped in the fridge.
I love Filipino folklore, like when they try to scare you and shit. You know, like I remember I used to like hide behind the curtains when we play hide and go seek, and my tita would come and say, "Hey, don't do that because you'll disappear." I was like, "What do you mean he'll disappear?" Ask your Tito Roland. He did that and he disappeared. I was like, "The motherfucker's right there. What do you mean he disappeared?"
He's like, who's Tito Roland? I told you.
I was gonna say, how you gonna ask him if he gone? The fuck you went?
Yeah, I told
Or
you.
if you make like my aunt used to tell me, if you make an ugly face, that the bad wind will blow and your face will get stuck like that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that shit's funny.
I think about that with everybody.
I think
does
You're
that.
stuck like this.
I'm crossing your
As I
eyes.
got
Sun was
older,
hitting him at the time.
she told me she was like, it makes more sense. It sounds better in Tagalog. I'm like, I don't think like no matter what language
Yeah,
you
no,
put that
so-
in, I don't think it's gonna make sense.
Yeah, I heard that when I was a kid in the Philippines, right? And I had like this little badass cousin who was talking because his mom would tell me, and then he pretty much talked back to his mom, and he's like, "Oh, is that why your face looks like that?" I was like, "Oh shit!" And then she's like,
name was like,
"Putang ina mo,
"Oh,
kapalagat." I'm sitting there watching her just yell at him. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
It's the funny ones that say that shit too, you know.
Yeah, it's
Like-
always a hilarious.
Like
one.
they know, like you should listen to them because they know from experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of, bro, when's the next time y'all going back?
I just got back.
Oh yeah, you did just get back.
How was it?
Man, that was fun. I haven't been home in let's be that Titanic. Like 84 years, not 24 years, but it's definitely been different because I used to live out there. So 24 years ago, I moved back here. So when I got back, I went to go visit my old neighborhood. I was like, wow, this place is a lot smaller than it used to be. And it's true. Like when you're a kid, everything looks so fucking huge. You get to the neighborhood, it's like, wow, this street, I can walk across in like 3 steps. And I remember I used to run across the street to go to the basketball court. And now it takes 3 steps. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm on the basketball court now? It's weird. But, it was nice. It was very welcoming. Filipinos, they just know when you're from America, though. And, I guess probably what you're wearing, you're not wearing what they're fucking wearing, I guess. I was wearing shoes, I wearing
Hypergamous, the
flip-flops.
status in the
Yes,
thing. Ooh,
Yeah, so,
shit.
but, they were very welcoming. It was fun. I had a lot of fun eating street food. I missed the fuck out of that. Just walking up and just, hey, I'll get fishball,
some
Some
squid.
quack.
But yeah, and it really, since I haven't been there in so long and coming back and being so used to America, it had me really appreciate what the fuck I have here. Because it was weird going to use a restroom and they're like, don't flush the toilet paper in there, throw it in the trash in front of you. And you look in the trash in front of you, everyone's like, ass is shit in there. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? The toilet paper, like you throw it in the trash and it's just in front of you. It's like, what the fuck? You can't flush this?
Damn, at least there was toilet paper.
Yeah, there was toilet, thankfully, but it's so hot. My ass was sweating all over the toilet seat, just sliding around. I'm like, whoa, wait. But
God, dude.
I found it to be so weird that you wipe your ass and you throw it in a trash can, and when you throw it in a trash can, you see all these other toilet paper with shit in it. And I'm like, whoa, what? No.
I was in El Nido, so they had all kinds of hoses and shit next to the
Yeah.
fucking toilet, so I didn't really have no issue with that, man.
That's the
Yeah.
bidet. That's the
Yeah.
Filipino bidet. It's the hose.
Yeah.
Man,
It was nice and efficient too. You know what I'm saying? They have like a little gun trigger and all that shit. Yeah.
there you go.
And you notice how when you live out here, everywhere is this is the residential area, this is the shopping area, whatever. In the Philippines, when you get there, no, you got a house right here, right behind the gas station. It don't matter. There's a house in random areas.
Nigga, it's a store in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying.
Sorry
Convenience
store. You
stores
can
in
knock
the
on
house.
someone's
Motherfuckers
door
got
and
the
buy
window.
shit.
windows gated up and shit. You know what I'm saying?
But it's actually getting really, like, if you go to the right areas, it's really nice. Like I went to Rockwell in Makati.
Oh yeah.
And I went to
Makati's
BGC, really nice. And then I met
Oh,
up
I went
with,
to BGC.
you know, a friend of ours. I met up with Ryan at Rockwell. We were chilling. We had a couple beers together, just catching up. Yeah, dude, over there, when you get to those areas, it don't even feel like Philippines anymore. It feels like you're, like, BGC feels like New York, kind of.
Low-key.
You're out there, you know?
Low key.
Yeah.
It's super nice. I wanted to go island hopping, but we didn't have time for that. We went to Green Hills, which is fun because my aunt really wanted to go there. And it's just fun just talking to people and, you know, lowballing the shit out of them because you can.
Get some Bluetooth Bose headphones, or Bluetooth Bose speakers, and
Bluetooth Boss. It says Bluetooth Boss. And
Yeah, I
it's
think,
like Bluetooth.
my sister got a Louis Vuitton Bluetooth speaker. I don't even know that shit existed, bro.
It's not even spelled Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth.
She was like, you want
No
BMW speaker? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I know, like, on one episode with Neek, and we've been sharing that clip a lot. It's like, you know, a lot of Filipinos don't like a lot of Filipino Americans out there. It was a different feeling. I felt very welcomed. Maybe times are changing now, you know, and people are much more welcoming. But I still do see a lot of those comments online of people talking about how Filipinos have crab mentality, and I guess you can say that still exists. It's more prevalent with the older generations, but younger people seem more open. But yeah, the weather was fucking hot and sticky, even though it was raining. Weird. But you find these Filipino girls who are just like, oh, you're from America? You know, you're just like, yeah, but I'm here with my wife and kids. What are you doing?
Shit.
And then I know that's Brandon's dream right there, because Brandon's got a lot of girls in the Philippines hitting him up now, right, Brandon? You want to tell that story?
Why you put me on blast like that? Nah, it's
You're the one sharing the comments all over your stories, man.
Hey, man, shut up. It's some beautiful girls out there, though. I'll tell you that. There's some beautiful girls out there. And, you
Shout
know,
out to Sean Kingston.
shout out to the one that I'm talking to. She a younger chick. You know, college graduate. You know, there's some smart girls out there. You feel me? And, like, you know, they be chasing their dream, chasing their career and all that shit, but they still, like, real feminine. That's what I like. Like, they don't get over masculinized, you know, chasing their dreams and chasing their opportunities and shit. And, like, a vast majority of them, if you have an open conversation with them and tell them, like, hey, will you drop everything to have a family and shit like that? They'll say, yeah. You know, but there's women in America that'll straight up tell you, like, I'm going to chase this money, you know? So it's like, all right, that's why y'all single. So
Unless they're a boss.
that's why Filipinos were winning. The Filipinos are fucking winning. Like, mother, like, I know niggas, young niggas, old niggas, white, black, Hispanic, all these motherfuckers is going to the Philippines to go find wives. Like, I know a motherfucker, Hispanic dude, he is talking to a Filipina for like more than 10 years. He fucking married her ass, flew her out here. Now she living with his family out here in California. Like, there's my boss who is he's a ex officer.
Would you agree that okay, we've had a conversation where this same female archetype, when they come to America, give them a few months, they'll shapeshift into the modern woman, right?
Right.
So because of that,
just real quick.
Okay.
Just real quick, I think I feel
That's not that's a generalization, by the way. That's also a generalization.
Yeah. I mean, I think the mentality that you are referring to, where it's like women in America are less likely to drop everything to start a family, I think it's born out of necessity. You know, shit's expensive out here. You can't support a family off of a single income household. It's, I mean, you can, but you got to really be making good money. So I think women look for security. They want to be able to say, like, I want to be able to provide for my kids. I want to make sure that they have more than just what they need. And in order to do that, it's almost always necessary, especially in California, to have a 2-income household.
And I'll add to that
and then
too.
Also, one more thing. Divorce rates are higher out here. Divorce is not possible in the Philippines. So
actually,
out there,
they just changed that.
They just changed
that law. Yeah,
so it didn't go into effect yet. So when I was out there, they were all talking. It was like this big thing, like, "Oh, divorce is going to happen in the Philippines," and you got all these dudes like, "Fuck yeah, we're going to get divorced."
Culturally too, it's a very religious country. Catholicism, divorce is looked down upon. Out here, it's different. You know, like your man can husband or wife can leave you whenever, and so you don't have that same sense of security that I will be provided for, no matter what happens. I mean, you have alimony and you have all that stuff, but again, like there's not as much security in marriage.
Most
here.
alimony checks are paid from man to woman, though. So even when y'all divorce, y'all still get the security. But
That's assuming the man's making good money. That's assuming that the man's making enough money to support.
But as I said before, though, the statistics show that more alimony checks are being paid from man to woman. Like that is a fact.
Well, absolutely,
So-
yes, you're right. You're correct.
So that
surviving
is an act.
off of surviving not only like off of like let's say you're in a marriage and it's a single income household, right? It's harder to be able to provide for a family to be comfortable with a single income household. Let's say they get divorced, the alimony, that's basically the same thing as living with them, maybe even less, right? So there's still that lack of security in like, oh, I can just rely on alimony even if we get divorced.
You guys can also rely
That's
on
why I think there's
government aid too. There's a lot of government aid. I know a lot of single mothers that survive off government aid, my mother included, because both of my sister and my father, my sister's dad and my father left, so my mother had to resort to government aid, and because of that, she was able to become the person that she was, become a full-fledged nurse, making $100K a month. So she took her gifts and she utilized it. But how many are actually taking their gift and utilizing it as opposed to gaming the system? Because I know a bunch of girls that just be like, man, I'm just getting these checks from the government. Fuck it. And then they're going out and doing whatever the fuck they want. So, you know what I mean? And like I
true.
said before,
Statistically, it's not the majority though. Like it's not a significant enough of a percentage of the people who are taking advantage of the system in order for it to say like, okay, the system is not working. People do need that help. Like your mom needed that help. She used it to her advantage. And the majority of the people who are using those programs, they do need it and they use it the right way.
right. But all I'm saying is this all plays into a part of why girls are single. Because, first of all, they don't see men as a necessity, right? Because men are not making as much as women. You have more women college graduates than men, right? And you have women that are making way more money now. You have women that are making money off of OnlyFans, making money off of sex work, making money off of modeling, doing things that men could never make money off doing, like the same amount. Like you cannot take a Filipino man, put him in California, and he will not have like OnlyFans. He will not have like all kinds, like a gigantic social network just because of his sexuality. So you guys have a lot of privileges that you're not really looking at. You know what I mean? And so when you have these privileges, it raises the bar, it raises your status. And because of that, you're not willing to take, like you said before, you're not willing to take a guy who's making less than you because he cannot provide for you in California. Well, guess what?
That's not necessarily true.
I mean, it's not necessarily true for everybody, but that's the vast majority. A lot of girls, I've run actual like questions on surveys. A lot of girls think that guys are making $100K when only 10% of the population, men and women, are making over $100K. So that just goes to show you that there's a skewed viewpoint as to what the male is supposed to be providing for women. And because the males can't give that, the girls are not willing to go underneath that bar. And when they do, they divorce those guys when they do.
To be fair, 100K in Cali is so much different from 100K anywhere else, bro.
It's a middle class.
It's because they have a crazy. They want to. You want to live like crazy out of your means. That's what it is.
Are you saying
the
that
fantasy and the porn stuff happening in a lighter scale?
I would say yes. The majority of women do it. That's why the divorce rate is so high.
So
I think the guys have some blame too.
No, they do.
I'm not sure if I misheard you earlier, but were you saying that women are making more than men now? Is what you're saying?
More women are making more money than men are nowadays. The richest people are men. Like, don't get me wrong, the richest people are men. But when you're looking at the statistics of who's actually making more money, there are more women making money than men. That's why there's an extremely high depression rate amongst men. That's why men are killing themselves.
Well, on average, men are still making. On average, men make more than women still.
Yeah, because those guys who are at the top, they make so much more money than y'all that it averages out. But there's not that very many of them. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think if you break down the variables, because I think what you said about the OnlyFans and the modeling too, I feel like in the athletic field, you know what I mean? Like
that's where
males
is out.
Yeah, males can make.
I mean,
even if you're Ronda Rousey, you know what I'm saying? Like Conor
But there's
McGregor's
to consider, like you don't have to be a top athlete, top performer to be in Miami making $20K a month.
You just gotta have an OnlyFans.
You just gotta have OnlyFans, bro. That is what I'm trying to explain, bro. You cannot take a normal
what about
Ranjit?
Thing. What about Ranjit in an office just scamming people though? He's probably making more than OnlyFans on a daily though. You know what I mean? We're not factoring.
I think there are situations
and
where
not everybody's a scammer.
I think there are situations where this is true, but it's important to include and note the fact that it is not a majority. There are situations where this is true. Absolutely, that's valid. But I don't think it's fair to make a generalization and represent it as if there is a majority of women making more money than men. Because actually is not true.
It's just a factor, though, because you have more college graduates, female college graduates, and that's
true.
And you have more. See, I work in the medical field. They literally want nothing but girls. So y'all are getting all the jobs as nurses and all the jobs as technicians, as front desk and social workers.
You know why though,
and
right?
all that shit.
You know why though, right? Because even I kind of work in that industry where it's healthcare, and a lot of these companies and caretakers, they want women. Why? Because a lot of dudes are fucking around with like the clients. They're fucking around with the patients. They're doing so much shit. So many times here, I'm not going to name names, but in our company we had
names
over to investigate shit, right? And I'll post the links, but because he was working at his care home and he was fucking, and these are people with disabilities, okay? I'm not talking about like, oh, it can't fucking walk. I'm talking about like Down syndrome, things like that, but on the very far end of the spectrum, like terrible.
Bruh.
And he was fucking sexually molesting him and shit and making him do shit with him. And then he would use a fucking taser on him. But he's in jail right now, so.
I don't know how we got to that.
MK Ultra.
I'm just saying that's why a lot of these companies, like healthcare, are looking for women because no one's talking about it, but a lot of men are getting caught up in what they're doing because there's a lot of abuse going on in these healthcare positions, and a lot of it are coming from men.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not here to debate what the root of it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just stating the fact that there are more college graduates and jobs are accepting more women nowadays. Like if you have a woman apply to be a cop, she's 10 times more likely to get that job over a guy because of the fact that they're trying to have this that equality in the job field and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, you basically make women not need men, only want men. So what does that mean? They're only going to aim for the guys that they want, right? Which are going to be the top guys. You know what I mean? That's why women are single, because they're all looking at the top guy, but the top guy is looking at all of them. Like they're fucking, just his little selection. I'm going to play with this Lego today. And, y'all close y'all selection, y'all window when y'all make more money. When I make more money, I can go to the province and I can go find a humble girl that has like a high school degree, barely getting out of college, doesn't know nobody, has no status, nothing like that, and I can marry her and we could have a beautiful time, beautiful life, and all that shit. And I can help her ascend to be that person that can match me if I need that person. But for a woman, you're less likely to do that for a guy. You won't go to find a province guy.
I just want to know. So, the conclusions that you're coming to, is it rooted in where is it coming from? Like, is it coming from personal experience? Is it coming from like research you've done on studies or statistics? Is it coming from
both? Both.
So would you say that in the studies that you've read, not even necessarily studies, the surveys that you've read, it shows that women. Okay, the conclusion that you made that the top whatever percent of men is pulling up the average for all men, and that, okay, the average says that men make more money than women, and you're saying that that's not true. More women are making more money than men, but because the top whatever percent is pulling it up, it's skewing that statistic to show in favor of men. I'm wondering, is that conjecture, or is that rooted in something that you have read?
Is it conjecture, or is it rooted in something that I've read? Well, it's
Yes. So is there a study
it's
showing
backed.
you
It's
that
backed. It's backed by. It's backed by the. First of all, it's been disproven. Was it? Is it the pay gap? Pay gap has been disproven between men and women. So if you could get away with paying women less, in your company by hiring them, most all companies would have all female employees. So pay gap is false. And then it's also backed by the fact that more women are graduating college. So that right there is just already showing you that you guys are getting all the jobs. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
then on top,
Well, maybe we should be graduating college too then.
yeah, definitely. No, I'm not saying that guys are not being losers. They are totally being fucking losers and getting fucking overlapped by all these women. You know what I mean? And that's why these women don't want them. I'm not saying I'm not saying that guys are not at fault. Because we truly are. And I'm a double down and say that most.
I could see a new rally of men just saying women are taking our jobs.
Hey, I could totally see that shit too.
Migrant women.
These
Hey,
colored
man.
women are taking our jobs.
I'm not here to say that it shouldn't happen because it already happened. I'm a product of it. My mother took care of her family, you feel me? But she ended up getting married, even after all that. So even a woman with her set in her ways, set in her job, making X amount of money, she still needed some guy's help, in some level, some degree. So,
I think we're also living in a time where the females are starting to catch up and pay with us.
Yep.
They might finally
Really?
they might be getting to the point where they're starting to overtake. You know what I mean?
They are.
But
And the thing
that
is,
doesn't
they won't-
necessarily mean that the avenue isn't there for us to keep up. You know what I mean? I think the playing field is still creatively open for opportunities. You know what I mean? Especially with this shaky time of the dollar and crypto. You know what I mean? I think there's still a lot of money to be made, and I don't think you're taking that into consideration, comparing OnlyFans people with the crypto bros and the NFT bros. Those guys are making money like by the second. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they are.
They don't gotta pose fucking nudes to make that shit. You know what I mean?
it's not
And
enough to
so
make a difference.
I just gotta post their NFTs.
I think too, like the independent female that you're talking about that you can't find in these third world countries. I think the people that
They don't have
come
those
to America, like I said, but what I was saying is the females that probably got married to Americans from those third world countries that transitioned to being more westernized, that developed that mindset, that probably got divorced, is now taking that knowledge and experience and setting herself up into third world countries and owning real estate and becoming a boss ass bitch in her third world country. That's probably inspiring other females. They're like, oh man, I don't need a man. You know what I mean? Because biologically, again, if bare bones primitively, yeah, you need male and female. But if you advance scientifically, like if we're gonna break down like splicing and cloning, all that, females don't need males, bro. You know what I mean? It's just facts.
So
And you saw it in
that's what
Jurassic Park. And we've
So
talked about this in the past where, we think that there's a psyop that the males are the most dominant.
See, but here's the
gender,
thing,
when
though.
I feel like
Here's the rebuttal,
psyop of witch hunt and trying to keep, education and reading from the women was a testament that once they hold this power, they're probably more creative and they could beat us in our game better than us.
Here's a question then. Do you need your woman? Do you need your woman?
Yeah.
Do you need a woman in your life?
I need my woman.
Okay.
Well,
Jermaine.
actually,
no.
I feel like, yeah.
That's just the question. That's
I
just
feel,
Jermaine. Do you need your woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Okay.
I would have
So
beaten
if
if I didn't
you
need
were
it.
to ask most of these women, they would say, "I don't need a man." See, that is that. Let's just keep it at that.
But
right?
hold up,
Let's
but
stop-
like I said, it's a new phase.
No.
It's a new
No, no, no,
phase.
no,
She
no.
said she needs
There
me.
was a
No,
time
no,
where,
no, no, no,
there
no.
was a
You're trying to
time
move the
there was a time where
goalposts.
males
You're
were like,
moving
I
the
don't need
goalposts.
anybody
Let's-
either.
No, let's just talk about the question and topic, right? Does not move the goalposts. The question was, do you need your woman? You said yes. The question was, do you need your woman? He said yes.
To move the goalposts but hold on. It's hard not to move the goalposts when the conversation is about the goalposts moving. You know what I'm saying? The goalpost is moving.
No,
That's
you
why
moved it too far.
females are getting this resurgence of power. But what I'm saying was when we were there and we were like females need us there because we had that leverage. We can say I can fuck a bunch of women because women need us. Now that women don't need us,
those are the guys who fucked it up though. Those are the guys who fucked it up though, because that's not us. That's not us saying that shit. I just asked you guys.
That's the same thing as blaming the females that are fucking it up, because that's not all them too.
Yeah.
You know
No, I'm not blaming. I'm talking about accountability. I'm talking about accountability. We are going out here openly saying that we need our women, despite our faults, despite our cockiness, despite our pride and our behaviors and our manly whatever bullshit. We are openly admitting that we still need these women around. And on the flip side, these girls are saying that they don't need us. That is the problem, bro.
So
I'll go home and ask my girl that. Hey, do you need me?
That's the problem.
that's
what I'm saying. Most girls will be like, I don't need my man. I don't need a man. That's bullshit. Because even though my mom still needed a man.
Women are raised, women nowadays, we were raised, I'm going to say it, for me personally, and most of the women that I know, I think the reason why women have that mentality now is because in the past, historically, when they're not able to rely on their man, right? If the man dies, if the man leaves them, they are left disenfranchised. They don't have anything else. And so now you're being told by your moms and your grandmas, make sure that you have something so that when your man leaves or when your man dies or whatever, you're still able to provide for yourself and provide for your kids. And so again, you're raised on this mentality of like, I don't need a man. I'm going to be able to survive on my own no matter what happens. Whereas for men, you don't have to have the mentality of like, I don't need a woman, because historically men have been able to provide for themselves, regardless of whether or not they have a woman.
Oh, message.
Well, no, but
and I also think that we wouldn't have this problem if we weren't like, females should be equal with us. Let's have them in the workplace. I think we fucked up by doing that, and now we're complaining about it. You know what I mean? Because the manager is gonna want to have an assistant he could fuck rather than an assistant he can, eat wings with all the time and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
but
there's that too.
You guys are just supporting the whole basis that all of this is circulated around.
Okay, hold on.
And that's the fact that men suck right now.
Yeah, hold on.
that's the whole problem.
You got a boyfriend, right? Do you need him?
I do.
There you go.
Do I need him?
She laughed.
Yes.
I see how hard she laughed. Come on, bro.
Because he said something when I hesitated.
Oh, she hesitated.
Oh no!
These niggas did not hesitate.
He better not be watching this live. He's probably in the other room like, what the fuck did you just say?
He's literally sitting in front of me right now.
Like, what's so funny?
You know what? No, I don't. I have to be able to tell myself that I don't need a man, because I have to accept the fact that one day one of us is gonna die, or what if one day we decide to not be together? I have to have the mentality, I don't need this person. I don't even think that it's I need a man or I need a woman. You have to be okay with
you want to know what an older woman told
yourself, me? Because at the end of the day,
an older woman once told me, when I told her the same thing, she was like, why do you talk to so many girls? Oh, I'm like, just insurance, just in case this one doesn't work out. And she told me the fact that I'm even preparing for failure is opening the door for it. And this was coming from an older woman.
True.
This is coming from an older woman.
But I don't think.
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
I don't think that's the same as I don't think that's the same as needing somebody. For me, if somebody asks, do you need this person? To me, it means, do you need this person to be financially stable? Do you need this person in order to be emotionally stable, to be happy, right? I don't think that my happiness, my financial stability should be contingent on having this person around, because then I lack security.
Fair point. That's a fair point.
Well, feelings change, though. If you just base your relationship solely on your feelings and your intimate attraction to somebody and that shit fades, then you will fade from that person's, their reality. That's just how it goes. They have to be a necessity in your life. Like somebody,
I disagree.
the woman has to be
disagree.
like, I cannot. Oh, yeah, that's because you're not looking at it from a man's perspective. You're looking at it from a woman's perspective because you've been told by other women your whole life that you don't need men. But I've been told as a man my whole life that I need the right woman and that I have to fight for her. You know what I'm saying? So you see the difference? Like, you're being taught to not care about it as much, and I'm being taught to fucking fight tooth and nail for it so that I earn it and I'm deserving of it. You see, there's a big discrepancy between how men think and how women are thinking right now. That's all I'm trying to highlight.
It wasn't a woman that told me that being in a relationship or having your man must be a need. It was actually my dad that told me being in a relationship is a choice, and you have to choose that person every day. I think it's important to be emotionally attached to somebody. I do, but people die. People die, people leave, feelings change. People change over time. The person that I am today is not going to be the person I'm going to be in 20 years.
So let me just touch up on this. No, before you move it, I want to touch up on the whole dying thing.
I know.
I want to touch up on the whole dying thing before you move it, and then I'll let it be. That's why, as a man, you have to aspire to be up and above and beyond the fucking clouds before you even decide to fucking be with a woman and have a child. If you're living in a place and you know that it costs this amount of money to have a child per month, per year, and you have to provide this amount for your family, and you have to create a cushion of finances to protect you in case of emergency that is this much.
Yeah.
Y'all, like, niggas are stupid. Stop having fucking kids if you cannot afford it.
Okay,
Stop
but hold
fucking
up.
trying to be with girls if you cannot afford it.
Let's take that into consideration and let's plug it and play that system in, right? Would you agree that because of that, you set your kids up for success, that sometimes in that system, they might not learn the life lessons that they would have learned if they had to struggle and earn what they had?
You create struggles. You create
which might yield to like an OnlyFans kind of chick. So you kind of built your legacy to create something that you were trying to avoid, type thing, because you don't have control over that.
See, that plays into the whole thing too. Like, you can control your finances. Mm-hmm. You can control the principles and the values that you have around you. You cannot control the entire external world, but those things you can. Right. And you have to have them solid, on point, before you bring someone into this reality.
Okay, what if like right before you sign that contract to be financially stable, you get in a car accident and now you're a vegetable? You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you have insurance?
I've heard stories of the wife stepping it up and still kind of, you know what I mean? Almost taking the male gender role and providing to get through that tough time. You know what I mean? For me, I think it transcends like the physical and earthly needs. And when I say I need my partner, it's from a spiritual thing, because I think male and female is incomplete until you have that union. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're basing off going back to Andrew Tate, the Matrix's requirements, then obviously it's going to change, because I feel like you need certain utopian variables in play to have a utopian life. You know what I mean? Like the faith that, my wife works full time, but I know she's got me. You know what I mean? Like there might be temptations, but it goes back to what Neek said, where you have to choose them every day. You know what I mean? And those are the utopian tenets that you guys have to make it work. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost a reminder that we're not in this world. Our love and our relationship transcends this earthly world, because like you said, it's temporary. You know what I mean? If things are changing, which things are always changing, then the variables are going to be juggling all the time. There's no point of being with one person. You might as well just be a nomad and fuck everything that walks.
Saying that, that's why it's better for men not even to get married, because you're more likely going to lose that marriage in
But that's
court.
such a stupid statement because that statement's only cool like right now when there's an abundance of people and you don't want to procreate because they're, you know what I mean? Like
No, in
back
regards
then-
to what
back
you're
then when
saying,
you
though,
were-
because what you said basically is saying not to get married. That's what you're saying. That's what you just said.
If
now.
you're basing your variables of, things, variables change. So if variables change, belief systems will change. And if belief systems change, then what's the point of committing to people because they're going to change anyways? Then what's the point of getting married?
But that's what
What
she just said, though. That's what she just said. People die, people change.
But
all
that's
that
why
stuff.
belief
So-
systems are
That's not
super
necessarily.
important.
But
I think, yeah.
I mean, I think that
it's
if-
not exactly the same, but it's a change. It's a life change. And he's talking about if there's so many changes and all this stuff, then somebody who's, not trying to base their life on such fluidity, they're not gonna get married. That's how most girls think now, because they know that it's fleeting. That's what it is.
And
I
I'll
think there are
I'll
some
make this
people
point
that think
too.
that.
I'll make this
I don't
point
know
too.
about most.
I think divorce rate is high because internally people know that they should get married, but they're so influenced by outside, sources and stupid advice that they think that, oh yeah, they weren't for me, and they choose not to make it work. They choose not to pick
Yes.
each other because there's an
Yes.
abundance of choices. So again,
Yes.
it's belief systems. You can have
Or-
a belief system of I can have many 12 wives.
Yes.
No,
well,
if I
that's-
kill
yes.
myself, I'll have 30,000 wives in, in fucking heaven or whatever the fuck.
Because they
you
have
believe.
you
can have that
a
belief,
skewed
you know what I'm
abundance.
saying?
It's a skewed
Someone that
abundance.
smells like yes.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
well, but the thing is, though, a 32, 35-year-old guy is more likely to get like several girls on his page than a 35, 32-year-old woman that's going to get the guy that she actually wants to take her seriously. She's going to have to lower her standards. She's going to have to lower her financial standards.
There's a lot of simps
and
out here,
meet a
though.
guy-
Oh,
Meet a
there's
guy
so many
halfway.
simps out here.
What do you mean so many? Well, yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean simps? What do you in regards to what? What do you mean?
I just feel like
I disagree
just
with
feel
the
like
statement that the majority of
I
women.
think if an older
um,
OnlyFans chick was like, I'm ready to,
Forgot
put it
specifically what I
aside
was referring
and
to,
be
but-
serious, they'd have a ton of simps just at her, in line to try to wipe her up.
Well, yeah. Why do you think it's so
So-
easy for women to
That's
turn
why-
down guys? Because ever since they
Yes.
turned like a certain age, they've been have dudes just throwing their dicks at them.
That's why women are not so keen on getting married, especially in America, because they have so many fucking options and they got Batman. They got 3 Batmans hitting them up in their fucking DMs. That's what I'm saying. And women are hypergamous because they know that they got Batman in their fucking DM. They're not going to give
I
the
want
fucking
Batman in my DM. What
They're
the
not going to
fuck?
give Mr. McDonald's manager a chance. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, so the whole
Maybe.
thing is, so women making too much money and having too many fucking choices. Like, I just talked to my cousin like a month ago. I was like, so how many matches do you got on Tinder? This bitch said over 100 fucking matches on Tinder. Like, women have their shit so fucking crazy right now. Like, they think they have so many fucking choices. It's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's why.
I mean,
not
we do
settling
too.
down.
We just not picking the right ones.
Nah,
bro.
niggas don't got choices like that. You capping.
Yeah,
But there's
so
people like there's people
You know
like
what,
Andrew
I think
Tate
that's
that
a
Niggas
good
do not.
I think
Niggas
that's a
do not
good
have
point,
choices
right?
like that.
To say, I think that's a good point. That to say that the majority of women think this certain way, I don't think that's supported by statistics, and I don't think that that's supported by a lot of the personal experience of, including myself, a lot of the women that I know. I think that it might just be you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Maybe you're just putting yourself around the type of women who have that mentality, who think like that. The majority of the women that I know that are in my family or that I choose to surround myself with do not have that mentality. And I don't think that that's true for...
Well, the women in my family don't have that
Majority of
mentality
them,
either. The women in my family don't have that mentality either. This is just an assertion of the current dating landscape of this generation. Now, there's people from different generations
That's what I'm
are
saying,
not
though.
appropriating. They're not appropriating that behavior. But a lot of those people are disqualified even from the dating market because the majority of those people are actually married. So you can't even equate those into those people that are actually actively trying to find marriage. You know what I
I
mean?
wonder if our grandparents would stay married if they grew up in this modern time.
Probably
That's
not.
a good question.
Probably not. Probably not
That's
because
what I mean by the variables. You know what I mean? Change everything. But I feel like some of them will. You know what I mean? Depending on how like. Yeah.
There's a lot of incentive for the woman to leave the man. Like we can't fuck around and say that's not true. Like y'all
But
kill
there's
us.
also a
Y'all
lot
kill.
of incentive for a man to leave a woman.
But he doesn't make the money. Though.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
He don't make the money.
Okay.
Those niggas ain't putting rings on these girls and taking their money.
There's
That's the
men
thing.
doing that though. But
There are guys doing it, but I'm telling you, there's more alimony checks being paid from man to woman than woman to man.
I mean, that is true.
And that's because most men are making more money than women. They would not be granted alimony if the woman was making more money.
So in a reality where the females were the breadwinners, you don't think guys would try to exploit that and just play Call of Duty all day?
They already do. I told you they've been trying to fucking marry my fucking mom. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Where's your mom, dude?
the problem is the money itself. The problem is the money itself. You know what I mean? Because you keep having this dynamic
Do you
where
think society...
you keep having this dynamic where the power shifts to men.
Now I'm going to step in and make it all make sense. Okay, it seems like there's an attack.
I have a really quick question.
Okay. I'll save this for after, so you can go ahead, Nick.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Just really quick.
No,
question.
Don't be sorry.
Do you think that society would be better off if? do you think that society would be better off if men make more money than women? Do you think that should be the natural state of things? Do you think the culture would be saved?
Well, okay, so let me just explain this very thoroughly. The money is power. Women want men with power. You don't necessarily have to be the richest guy. You don't necessarily have to be the strongest guy, because you can make up for that in different areas. You know what I mean?
Big dick or a big wallet, a big
or
bank
the
account,
best
man.
teacher, the most popular. You could, if you're not the most good-looking guy, you could be the most popular. If you're not the most popular, you can have the most money. If you don't have the most money, you can have the most like liquid assets. If you don't have the most liquid assets, you could have the know-how and the social skills and the network that can get y'all there. So, what y'all don't get as a woman is that for me to even qualify for you, I have to do X amount of work. I have to be somebody. Y'all just see the finish line. Y'all don't see me running to the finish line, struggling, trying my shoe, falling, and eating dirt and shit. And to be quite frank, y'all don't appreciate that because y'all don't like watching losers. Y'all only want the winners. And so that's not everybody, but that's a majority. And then the ones who do understand, oh shit, the winners, they're the top guys. They get all the girls. I need to just get a normal guy. They settle for the normal guy, but sometimes they're not mature enough to actually be with this person long term because they feel like he's a son and that they're picking up after him. I've seen this shit happen time and time again. I've seen marriages destroyed because men have been demasculinized in front of their women. I'm not saying that he has to always make more money, but he has to provide somehow. He needs to be a superhero somehow, some way, shape, or form. She has to respect him. If she loses respect for him, the relationship is fucking over. And that's it. And sometimes what comes with respect? Money.
You got to give respect to get respect.
That's it. And I would argue
I
that most men don't even really want too much affection. Most men actually just want respect from their woman. Respect.
Well, like
don't
what Chris
go out,
Rock would
fuck
say.
around. Don't
Chris Rock would
embarrass
say,
me.
"Feed me, fuck me, shut the fuck up."
Do you think?
I mean, yeah.
So,
that's
I mean,
right.
So does that mean that you feel like men should be making more money in order to gain respect from their woman? And it sounds like you feel a lot of pressure. It sounds like you feel like there's a lot of requirements for you in order.
Not for me. I'm good. I feel sorry for my nieces and nephews because they have to navigate this shit. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got girls who want to have my baby and shit. You know, I'm chilling. But the thing is, like, I know that my cousins are gonna go through this shit and they're gonna suffer, bro. So and I'm not gonna be the person who's sitting there watching this shit happen. You got me fucked up. If I know that I can do something, I will.
If money wasn't a problem and it was all about tribes and just kind of providing,
then it would just be the strongest. Then it would be the strongest. and then we would be teaching our sons to fight. But now it's about money. But the problem is niggas ain't teaching their sons how to make money properly.
Hey, when we talk about our grandparents and them really believing marriage, their media was different. They didn't have porn like we did, right?
Yep.
They didn't have the internet like we did. They didn't have studies saying females over 35 are happier without males. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have fucking articles or studies that say women over 40 are more sexually active. And you know what I mean? None of that shit, right?
The necessities were different. It was harder for women to be able to survive without the education that are available to women now.
There's that too. I feel like more education is available to females, right?
Is equalized.
But would you say that even that, the education available to females, it was different from the education available to males back in the day when females weren't allowed to access that education? Would you say that it's kind of, you could say updated, but sometimes, you know what I mean? The update isn't as good as the original form. But what I'm trying to say is, I think the data that they're accessing is different from the data that was accessed at the time where they were barred from it. So
I think culturally, yes, there's more. I think culturally, yes, we have so much more access to information, Instagram, Facebook, TV, whatever. It's so readily available. So an idea, a concept that can become big so fast, that can definitely be a factor. But also, I think one of the biggest reasons why our grandparents, for example, had to stay married was because of out of necessity. Women did not have the same capability, opportunity to be able to survive on their own without their husbands.
Yes, and this is fact, and this has changed. This has changed. Now men are not. We are not needed.
But hold on. Also, I feel like females were encouraged to be mothers earlier because there weren't scientific or medical advancements in order to get pregnant after. So there are studies now that says being a successful parent is probably, you know what I mean, going to be more accessible to you if you set yourself up with your career first, and then later on, if you can't get pregnant, just get pregnant through IVF or some, you know what I mean?
So would you like my counter argument?
What's your counter argument?
Okay, my counter argument is I'm not trying to be fucking 50 while my kid is 13 or 12 and I'm like on a deathbed, or 60 and they're like barely graduating college.
There's that too. If you had to set yourself up to be able to be financially stable to have a kid, then you lose out on the opportunity of becoming young still. You know what I mean? That's when you get kind of stuck trying to make everything ideal instead of just kind of living life and doing it and figuring it out day by day type shit. Which is not necessarily wrong, but I think my point is just like we're going back to the porn. You know what I mean? You're having these visions and these images in your head that's not even yours, that is truly toxic to your head if you kind of adapt and you know what I mean, dwell with that vision, that self-image. I'm trying to compare it to the stepbrother, stepsister porn. Like, yeah, that's probably a fantasy, but back then probably people are like, wow, what, that was a weird fantasy, you know what I mean? Now people are jacking off to that shit, and now it is a fantasy, you know what I mean? So I'm saying, like, what's natural of having fantasy, what's natural of having a partner is hijacked now. That meaning is hijacked by the media. And who owns media, man? Who owns OnlyFans? Who owns most porn website? Who owns Tinder? Who owns Grindr? Who owns Bumble?
It's an attack on the nuclear family. It's an attack on the nuclear family.
On the nuclear family.
All it is to keep us from being wedded, so we stop birthing our children. And I don't understand why people are not.
You could even say the working industry is attack on the nuclear family.
Yes, it is,
work holidays, bro. You know what I mean? So,
like, I get it. It's making.
How do you beat that if you know for sure that there's an attack on a nuclear family?
You don't fucking play it.
Strong. You have to be mentally strong, and you don't play that shit.
You don't play the game. That's why I be telling guys, man. Like, I'm gonna just warn y'all. These American girls, bro, if you're not fulfilling their hypergamous need, yeah, they're going to tell you it's 50-50. Yeah, they're going to tell you it's halvesies. Well, guess what? Once they start feeling that halvesies, they're not going to respect you as much as they would if you just put the castle around them without them asking for it. That, I'm telling you, that is just how it is, bro. That's just how it is. The girls who respect me, I get the best out of them.
Going back to females like being pushed more than males, I feel like that's true for the entertainment industry and the social media industry. Obviously, you want your like, you know what I mean, showcase person to be attractive. But I was actually studying TikTok lives and you know, these live stream viewers, and I was like, how do these people make money? They make money through donations, right? Someone donates an ice cream cone, or someone donates a subscription, right? But I'm thinking, how do you get these subscriptions? How do you get these gifts? It's funny because you almost have to sell your soul and be a bot in order to prompt people to give you these gifts. That's why you see the chick who's going, oh, thank you, ice cream cone. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you for the galaxy. It's almost like you have to donate something for me to perform an action. It's like a prompt, right? But I was thinking, who the fuck is buying these ice cream cones and these rainbows and shit? Because you have to convert money into those gifts or tokens. You know what I'm saying? And usually, you can't trace that back because it's a conversion to a digital currency, right?
Right.
I feel like the elites are pushing certain people that are really willing to kind of, you know what I mean, abandon their their principles or their morals in order to get elevated into the limelight. And I think that's what happens with males, with females, and again, like the Filipino people, we abandon our principles in order to, you know, move up the social ladder. And that's the self-belief and the belief system that fucks up any tribe.
It's hypergamy. It's, you know, like it all goes back to hypergamy because people want to be with the top one. If you're a beta male, you're going to be calling my mom trying to marry her and get the fuck out of the Philippines.
There's also a beta female, you know what I mean? I watched 300. That was an alpha female.
If you're a dominant woman, no, I'm trying to give y'all both ends of the spectrum. If you are overly submissive man, you're going to be trying to call my mom trying to get married and trying to get the fuck out of the Philippines, get your fucking papers. If you're an overly dominant woman, your windows of selection is going to be so small that you probably won't even fucking marry. You probably won't even want to risk it. So those are the ends of the spectrum. And in the middle is you trying to decide, am I going to be with someone because I truly want to be with them? And when I stop feeling like I want to be with them, I'm still going to be with them because it's a commitment. Or am I going to follow my hypergamous nature? And when she stopped being sexy, I'm going to go find the next one. When he stopped making money, I'm going to go to the next one. You know, that's just how the human brain works. And I'm telling you, that's how it is. Despite what your whatever principles, whatever system you get indoctrinated in, you cannot fight biology. She cannot fight her periods, and I cannot fight my testosterone. You know, this is biology. So when you know that, then that's when you get one up ahead. That's when you could tell your mate, hey, instinctively, we go for each other because of these features. We're going to have to fight our biology to stay together and be committed in a relationship. Are we adult enough and mature enough to do this? And I would argue that Americans are not. And that is the whole point of the conversation.
I will say this. I think back then, our grandparents, great-grandparents' days, even some of our parents, they had to get married to have sex. So after they get married and
Same
after
culture.
the third, fourth year of sex, it's not that tight anymore. That's when you start to, slip away and shit gets kind of off. And that's where sometimes this, you know what I mean, this wild environment that we're exposed to right now can yield benefits because there are people that have been ran through that end up settling because they've been ran through, they know that sex isn't, you know what I mean, the most important part of the relationship. And so they can kind of transcend that. And that wouldn't have happened if you had this like, oh, only marry virgins. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. But at some point, that hoe's got to submit. At some point, she's got to be a submissive woman if she wants the right guy. She can't go fucking around like she was. So even though she was a hoe, she understands at some point she's going to have to fucking stop. So even though she was a hoe, nigga, she knew she had to stop at some point if she wanted to solidify a real relationship. So
it's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
She knew it was going to happen regardless. So why would I, me as a man, knowing that, me as a man,
I need to stop while there's still some tread.
I know she's going to have a higher body count, so that's a higher risk for pregnancy and a higher risk for least amount of pair bonding because your pair bonding goes down the more partners you have. So she has low pair bonding, high body count, high risk for disease, and then more likely to have probably had a child. You know what I mean? That's debatable. And then also, when you raise the age of women, I actually have the numbers right here. So says here, 10% for the first 5 years for girls. Once they start menstruating, 10% of them are on birth control. And then, the likelihood of them getting cervical cancer increases by 10%. Other bodily ailments. When they stay on it for more than 5 years, the risk increases by 60%. And more than 50% of American women are on birth control. So that means that most of the women are going to have cervical cancer. They're going to have all kinds of birthing issues. And quite frankly, they're not even going to want to bond with you because they've had too many partners. So, and also, there are more male virgins than there are women virgins. We have so many incelibate men that they're going out and fucking shooting high schools because their incelibate fathers getting them guns. So I'm just trying to tell y'all, bro, and another thing too, 1 out of 5 women by the age of 40 are on antidepressants. So, bruh,
do you just carry that piece of paper in your pocket?
Oh yeah, because I love when people dispute me on this. I absolutely love it, bro. Because
I think statistics are fake and gay, bro.
Women are also more likely.
I already know your
Women are also more likely to reach out.
What's up?
Women are also more likely to reach out when it comes to their mental health. So I'm not saying that the statistic is not true. I'm just saying that women are. It could also be. How do I say this? There might be a higher rate of women on antidepressants because they're more likely to report it versus men, because society tells men that you should not talk about your shit.
You should be a man.
Right. Well, I mean,
this is just Brandon. But then casually hearing someone talk about statistics. Well, let me tell you something about that one.
Hey man, I'm just saying, bro. That's just supporting the fact that you should probably get a girl that's in her 20s, because most girls by their 30s, they've been blasted with antidepressants and with birth controls that they either don't even want your children or they can't even have your children. And I'm just trying to help people out, man. I know a girl who basically had her daughter. Then she had her little ovarian ring.
Damn, bro, I'm about to be 30. I guess I'm fucked.
She had her ovarian ring, and she had her ovarian ring implanted. When she had it removed, because it mislodged. Now she can't have any children, and she's susceptible for cervical cancer. And
that sucks, man.
And she broke up with her guy because she can't provide her guy children. And
But what if the guy is like, "It's cool, we don't gotta have kids. Why are you breaking up with me?"
He wasn't though.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. So, he was cool raising the kid till she was fucking 8 years old, a kid that wasn't even his. And, now he can't even have children with the woman that he wanted to be with. So, I'm just saying, bro, we need to wake up. If you're going to take these medicines, and you need to do the research on what these medicines have in them and what the causes are, what it's going to lead to, and really ask yourself, is that worth risking it?
I don't know. I think we're way past that goalpost because.
Oh, we are though.
Yeah, moved it way down there. Right?
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the field.
Now they got different shit. They're like, do you want to take it through? You want to take your birth control through the ear? You want an eye drop? Do you want a fucking injection? Do you want a Senzubin? You know what I'm saying? They got all kinds of shit.
Yeah, birth control is not fun, man. It's not fun. It's not fun for us either. It makes us moody. It makes us. It's harder to lose weight. It's not fun for us either. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have to be careful with what we're taking and why we're taking it.
Yeah, it's poison.
And it plays into a part.
It's like
an attack.
It feels like we have to choose. It feels like we have to choose between being fat and moody or get pregnant. That's what it feels like. Do you want to have a baby unplanned? Assuming you don't terminate the pregnancy, or do you want to just deal with the side effects of having birth control?
Right. So that's why women should only have sex with a man that they're prepared to have a child with, and vice versa.
Again, that was the case. The reason I'm going to go take this, and this is I'm not going to dwell on this too much. Again, that's why I brought up the box saga with Thomas, because in the utopian environment, that was the case. People paired each other up based on astrological symbols. They only had sex based on like certain, you know what I mean, moon phases in order to get pregnant. More.
It was all for procreation.
Yeah.
All for the purposes of procreation, and not
somewhere
for
down the line, it became, man, I've never
pleasure.
fucked a redhead before.
It's all about
like,
what happens if you're with that person that you want to? What happens if you're with that person that you do eventually want to have children with, but you just are not prepared to do that right now? You know, like,
and that's not the person.
You still want to be able to in the future have children, but
then
you
that's
also
not the
don't want
person.
to be on birth control and become a fat bitch, you know? Well, but what's the? So you're saying that, like, if you're gonna be with a person, right? If you want to be in a committed relationship, you have to be ready to have babies now.
No, sex.
Like,
I said sex.
Is that
I said sex.
kind of what
I
you're
said
saying?
sex.
Because sometimes people want to be together; they don't want to have a kid right away.
No, I
So
was
they
just saying
shouldn't have
sex.
sex at all. They shouldn't have sex at all if they're not gonna have babies.
I tell guys, if you're not prepared to have your seed grow in her garden, don't plant it. Don't fuck a girl if she's stupid and you're like,
So
oh shit, if I put it,
don't
don't risk it if you're not willing to fucking eat the biscuit after it comes out of the fucking oven. That's what I'm saying.
No condoms.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Be responsible.
I'm saying,
have
like,
accountability.
they're with that person, right? Like, it's a committed relationship. They want to have babies. They want to.
What about like
No.
high school
Oh, okay.
sweethearts? type
Yeah, I'm
shit?
saying, like, you know, they're with that person already. They want to have babies. They just don't want them, like, right then and there. Yeah, like, they don't want to have it right then and there. You know,
That's okay.
They also
That's
want to
okay.
be able to be a fat
Yeah,
bitch,
so-
you know.
so
If by
that's-
fat bitch,
that's-
I mean, like, moody and moody. You know.
You're in a relationship. That's relationships with intent, though. That's another issue. People get into relationships and
Right.
sexual relation. People have sexual relation without intent. They're just doing it purely for pleasure, and they don't care about what's happening at the end of it. They're not even thinking about what's happening on the other side. See, when I talk to girls now, I tell them.
I see what you're saying.
When I talk to girls now, I tell them, "Do you see me as a potential father to your children?" If they tell me no,
Like, whoa, fucking
no,
not
no.
talking to that guy anymore.
if they tell me no, that's bye-bye. That's bye-bye automatically. That's bye-bye automatically. No, what the fuck? I'm not going to waste my time.
I don't even
on
know
that.
your name yet, and you asking me this question.
Like, dude, I just want to take your order.
You're funny as shit. Of course they know my fucking name. Of course they know my
Dating
fucking
bio.
name.
This isn't dating bio.
No, you know, you rizz
Bro,
her up.
this is your first
Here's
message
the
to me
go,
ever.
bro.
What the
You
fuck?
gotta rizz her up. No, don't. I'm not saying be fucking weird, but rizz her up. You know what I'm saying? And then when she's comfy and ready, you tell her, "Hey, what do you see?" Because like,
Say jizzer up.
oh yeah, I
Rizz
mean,
her up.
shit, that comes after.
Give it
Rizz
a
before.
times, bruh.
Come on, get this shirt, man. Rizz
Give it
before
a times,
jizz.
fam.
Rizz before jizz,
That's a
bro.
fair
Come
question.
on.
If that's the type of, yeah, I think it's a fair question. If that's the type of relationship you're looking for, you know, you're looking for your life partner and you don't want to waste your time, that's fair to ask. You know,
Yeah,
maybe not on the first date, but, you know,
It does filter your partner.
gospel is not for playboys. This gospel is for men who are actually trying to solidify a relationship. You know, a working relationship. You know, this is not for niggas who's just trying to fuck around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is for men who actually take women seriously and respect women. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to build a relationship with this person, you know, you have to take it seriously and you have to jump in with intention. Like, hey, I'm talking to you, but the reason why I'm talking to you is because I see that you have an awesome figure, you're a nice woman, you cook good, and I feel like you could take care of my seed into the future. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm talking to you.
But what
And
happens when that awesome figure turns different after having a kid? You still gonna be with her?
Or yeah,
The awesome figure
or
is
next week you're like, "Damn,
based off
she's
of
like-
the
yeah,
awesome
her
figure is
friend
based
looking
off
kinda
of childbirth
fine.
though. Is based off of childbirth because you know that we all know that women with childbearing hips, you know, bear the most healthy children.
Them hips don't lie.
So I mean, this is all
That's where it
rooted.
came from.
This is all rooted in biology. Like, I think it's funny that girls get mad at guys for being shallow when literally our sexual cues, our mating cues, are what make or break the health of our children. You know, like if I don't get with a pretty girl, my son is less likely to find a mate. Like, and I don't think people understand that.
Yeah, but also, like, as a society, we've evolved past just primal instinct.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Like, think more deeply about an emotional connection and what we want out of our partner in our lives. You know, it's not just
I want to have a family. I also want to make sure my child can have a mate.
The reason why we can't
is that I mean that's why we buy houses for our children, for fucking crying out loud. That's why my mom got me a house in the Philippines so I could go talk to some fucking Filipinas. Like, come on now, bro. Like, this is why we do this for our children. The basis of life is procreation. Like, we don't get it twisted, bro. Like, come on now. If you're not setting your children up to at least be like that guy so he could get a girl, I don't know what the fuck you're doing for your child, bro. What the fuck are you doing? Straight up. And all these girls put in their sons. All these girls put in their sons in Nikes and Jordans and shit. They know what the fuck they're doing.
To be able to thrive.
But that's like borderline eugenics.
Yeah, it's good to, like, you know, try and make sure that your children thrive. You know.
That's less procreation and kind of borderline eugenics. You know what I'm saying?
What is eugenics?
Eugenics is trying to, like, improve your genes.
Well, also,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Based on certain.
Well, that's biology, though. Like, the bird goes for the most colorful.
But sometimes
it goes beyond that too, because
the snake,
at some point,
the snake wants to fuck the lion. You know what I mean? Even though they're not supposed to mate.
That'd be a National Geographic video.
And they're just in love. You know what I'm saying?
The Book of Enoch.
No, it's also important though to choose somebody more than just like, okay, their hips are nice and they can bear nice children, because one day that child turns 18 or 25 for some people. They leave.
Wow, you're so good looking. Yeah, because my mama had nice hips.
That person, you know.
And if they're all and if they all have nice hips, then you kind of
you're still choosing your person that you have to spend the rest of your life with.
I'm not
saying that. I'm not saying that once the hips are gone, you fucking go too. Remember, I said before that the hypergamy is the problem. The fact that you could think you can get another set of hips is the problem. The fact that you don't think you need a man because you make X amount of money, that's the problem. You know, the hypergamy is the problem when you think that you have options.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But
like, you know, I get it. I get that you're saying, like, that is I know that I fought for the fact that it's in the biology, but what I'm telling you is that when you get into a relationship, you have to have the intention, tell your mate, hey, we have these biological cues that we may have to fight later on down the line in our relationship. Because it's not just all daisies and all rainbows and honeymoons. It is a constant battle trying to keep your love intact.
And you make that choice.
So when you get to those times where the kids, when the kid's 18 and the hips are gone, as a man, you have to realize, yeah, the hips are gone, but those are those same hips that fucking brought this child into existence. I'm loyal to these hips till the end. And that's you fighting your biology as a man. Now, for women, when women get into this 50-50 shit with guys and they start disrespecting them, you're following your hypergamous nature because you don't respect him because he's not in a leadership role. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're a woman going 50-50 with a nigga, stop being so fucking disrespectful and so argumentative, because at the end of the day, you're following your hypergamous nature when you do that, because you're not going to argue with Batman. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hell no, he'd beat my ass if I argue with him. What the fuck, Batman?
because Batman is the epitome of man.
Don't you argue with me, boy.
Because Batman, you want me to use Iron Man? I'll use Iron Man instead. He's more of a playboy.
You're talking more of Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark. So.
Use Lapu Lapu.
Okay. So let me just sum this up. You believe that love, relationship, and the success of that is dependent on external variables?
No. I think that it's dependent on us knowing that our attraction cues are based off of external variables. And once those attraction cues dissipate, you actually have to put in the work to keep the relationships together. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't just fucking leave because he stopped making money. You don't just fucking leave because her hips are gone. And you don't just start disrespecting him just because he lost his job. So that's what I'm trying to say.
So respect goes all around.
So love, success, and the successful relationship is dependent on your internal awareness of the external.
Yes, because you know that you're gonna be fucking hypnotized by all these younger girls, and she knows that she's gonna be hypnotized by all these rich guys that are hitting her up in her DMs saying, "Hey, I know you have a husband, but if you ever break up, I'm right here in the ringer waiting for you." That's what we have to fight.
But then, if it's about the internal, because I'm asking, is it internal or external? But it sounds like you just answered with internal to external. I'm asking, like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like if it's internal, then it's independent of the external. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know what you're the internal is the actual love and the commitment. The
But that's not enough, I guess,
No,
right?
what I'm trying to say, no, the external is the attraction, the actual physical attraction that gets you guys together. He looks good. He's driving this kind of car. He's with these kind of people. He has this kind of job. This nigga had to fucking fit into certain criteria to even attract the girl. That's what I'm saying.
That's a certain like type of girl who looks at cars and shit. But
no,
like
that's all women. All women.
But no, go back to the Filipino thing.
Though.
Like it's an energetic, you know what I mean, connection. Sometimes it's just like, oh, there's something weird about you, type shit.
A silly girl looks at what a man drives, and a wise girl looks at what drives a man. That's why you be talking about the girls you be talking about, bro. Because you be talking about the guys.
Yeah,
shout out to Lil B.
Your cars and shit. You be ignoring Lucy. That.
So you guys are too focused on the actual.
Yeah, I
you
actually like your song.
You guys are focusing on the actual car. But what I'm trying to say is,
it doesn't. On the bitches that hit you up because of the
listen. Y'all focus on the car. What I'm trying to tell y'all is, girls actually don't give a fuck about what the car is. Guys like the car.
It's true because cars are dick magnets.
But
I would know
girls,
so.
Girls just like the fact that he's man enough to acquire the fucking asset, bro. That's what I'm saying. The whole being that guy.
I'm sorry to keep going back, but you talked about external attraction becoming what magnetizes the internal love. The girls that want to be around the car and the successful guys are going to pay for surgical procedures to become these beautiful females that you're trying to get attracted to, because your definition of beauty is, it's an external game again. When you're trying to ignore that it's an internal,
you're trying to conflate
phenomena.
You're trying to conflate the love with the attraction. What I'm saying is the attraction happens first, then the love. It doesn't happen at the same fucking time.
Isn't that conflating love with attraction?
No, it doesn't happen. But what I'm trying to say is it doesn't happen at the same time. You're talking like it's happening at the same time. Those attraction cues happen first, bro.
But I feel like attraction is not only limited
attention.
to physical and cars and like, you know what I mean?
Looks and the attitude.
It could be like, hey, I like how you
attracts
I like
the heart.
How you didn't speak up when you knew you were right. You know what I mean? That could have attracted the right type of person. You know what I'm saying? Or I like
yeah. So him being right,
independent of looks. That's independent of cars.
But it still fulfills the hypergamous nature of you being in a leadership role.
What survival skills does that have to signal a female? Oh, this guy's gonna take care of my children.
Well, you said
maybe he came over in a skateboard. You know what I'm saying?
No. You said that he fulfilled some kind of leadership role. That's what you're saying.
Tony Hawk.
Leaders don't help. Like in this world, leaders don't help like that. Leaders are the ones that are kind of like, fuck this guy. What's he gonna do for the team?
No, I'm trying to understand like.
What I'm trying to show you is I think it's based on external, and if you base it on externals are always changing. When it's internal, then it doesn't matter what external is. It can change, the rules can change, but as long as the internal dictates what happens outside, then it doesn't matter what.
What I'm trying to argue,
like if my wife makes more than me, then it's like, yeah, our kids eat more, because I could make more type shit. And it's not like oh man, my wife makes more than me, I hope she doesn't start fucking other guys. It becomes that kind of slippery.
Oh Lord.
The thing is though, what I'm trying to say is the attraction cues happen before the love. Can we at least admit that?
But you're saying that attraction is like physical and like, you know what I mean?
It's not just physical, but it plays a part in it.
I think
you even said yourself that the pheromones. You even said yourself that the pheromones play a part in it.
Yeah, the pheromones is why like a bodybuilder or football players like fat bitches. You know what I'm saying? And they end up with fat bitches. They ain't attractive. They cheating on them.
What's that? Where did that come from?
Bro, look at football players and tell me
where did that come from, nigga?
You're successfully married to fat bitches, dog. Tell me. Look at the statistic right now, dog.
No, I'll tell you why they're marrying those fat bitches. You want to know why they're marrying those fat bitches?
They're submissive.
Yes.
Y'all about to get shared on TikTok like I got.
The football player to the fat bitch to begin with. It wasn't. It was the fact that, hey, this girl's submissive.
And which
So
football
if the
players do you follow?
submissive trait is the attractive trait, then you will be submissive and you will
Have
be
you-
attracted to chicks that have been ran through because they are the ones that are submissive now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because
would-
they learned it. Because they learned
yeah.
how to attract you.
So
Because they learned how to
then if you're
attract you.
attracted to them, then you find out, oh, you've been ran through. I don't fuck with girls like that. Then you fuck yourself over because
No,
of
but they
your
learned. But that's the
standards, you
thing,
know
though.
what I'm
They
saying?
learned how to attract you using attraction cues. You don't necessarily love that about them. That just attracts you to them, and then you learn the person, and then you learn what you love about them, and then the love is gonna be your basis for the commitment. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm
When
gonna
you're
get
just
spiritual.
just casually dating, you're like, oh, she looked fly. Oh, she did her nails. Oh, she got nice hair. Oh, I like how she did her eyelashes. But then later, when you guys get deeper into the relationship, you're like, oh, bro, fuck the eyelashes. She's hella cool, bro. Like she fucking likes anime and shit. Oh yeah, this the one. Oh, she don't care about going traveling and shit. We can go camping and she doesn't care that her feet are too dirty. Oh, I like fuck the shoes, fuck all the glow, fuck all the. She don't even got to do her hair no more. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. After a certain amount of time, if you have a strong basis for love, then the attraction cues fade, and then you just have a committed relationship. But
I
when
think
people
it's like the Schumann's resonance and tuning forks. Whatever frequency you vibrate, that's the frequency you'll attract. So there are times where, like you said, let's say a guy who wants a submissive chick, but has been burned by all these player chicks. So now he's got this player, you know what I mean, persona because of the pain. On the other side, female A, his match, you know what I mean, has been fucked over by a guy. So she has a trust issue aspect. And so she doesn't really take any guys seriously. They cross paths and they know each other, let's say in this situation, but they're not attracted to each other because his frequency changed because he's kind of flip-flopped, you know what I mean? And her frequency changed because it kind of flip-flopped. When they're done playing those games, their frequency will be tuned in and somehow they're going to be attracted to each other. And it's going to be that conversation of, you know, yeah, for some reason I wasn't attracted to you back then, but something clicked. You know, some shit that transcends physical attraction, you could say, you know what I mean? And then eventually they end up together and they probably think, man, why did we get together to begin with? Or it becomes that story of
unbeknownst to them,
you know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit does happen too. And it's one of those things of like you know, when we were in each other's setting and environment, but we didn't feel like we wanted to have a kid yet. But you know what I mean? It's one of those things where they were there, but they just didn't feel like it was their right time to be together type shit. You know what I mean?
So
yeah, I think you raise an. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go first. You go first. Go ahead.
So I just think you raise an interesting point that it describes a specific, like a type of girl, right? And what you said about attracting what it is that you're putting out. I think that that's true. You know, if you have a certain idea in your head of like, this is the way things are, then that's what you're going to see. It's this confirmation bias, you know, and it just keeps reinforcing like this idea that this is how women are. But whenever I encounter that idea, what I think to myself is like, surround yourself with better people. Surround yourself with better, you know, people that are more on your wavelength. Not you specifically. I'm just saying, like, I think people should surround themselves with the people that they want to be, the values that they hold. Should find people that also hold those same values, you know?
People don't know how.
At the same time,
people don't know how.
At the same time, you don't want to sweet talk strippers and think that think you can change them.
People don't know how to. People don't know how to keep good people
I
around.
can fix her.
People don't know how.
Connected.
I
People
think
don't
that
know-
people who
people
don't know how to keep people that don't know how to keep good people around are people that are not necessarily being good people themselves, you know, because if they're being good people, they should be able to keep those good people around. They have grown to the point where they're able to spot, this is the type of person I want to surround myself with. I want to be around
I think good is subjective,
and all
though.
that. You make a choice, you know.
Good is subjective.
Good
though.
is subjective, right? So it's more so like the values that you hold, right? Like for me personally, I value people who want to do more with their lives, right? So I choose to spend my time and actively make an effort to hang out with people that I feel like reflect those values. And I think that like if there's a certain thing that you're looking for, then you just choose to invest time and effort in being around those people. And if they suck at that, then that's kind of.
Well, yeah. See, that's exactly why I say no OnlyFans. Like, stop subscribing to OnlyFans. Stop watching porno.
Well, that's like fishing at the dump. You know what I mean?
It's the shit that
like,
you take in.
You're not gonna catch an octopus there. You're gonna catch like one of those three-eyed fishes.
Yeah, it's the shit that you take in. It's I mean, it all goes back to people's values, bruh. At the end of the day, it's like, do you really want a long-term relationship? Yes or no? And you will appropriate the behaviors that bring that to you. But what I'm trying to say is, people don't know those behaviors. You got guys that don't know how to provide, and you got women who say that they don't even need a man. So when you have that dynamic, how are you supposed to even have a relationship flourish? How does it even bud?
I want to know what Francis thinks. That's what I want to know.
You want to know what I think? I just think that everything that Ori's saying, I'm just glad I'm glad to be with my girl.
Do you need her?
Do you need her though, dude?
Kind of goes back
Do you need her?
I do need her spiritually and for my mental health, but do I need her to put gas in my car? No, I don't need her. But and it's vice versa for her. If she doesn't need me to fucking buy lunch or buy her own clothes, but she would say she needs me because she feels safe with me.
See, but I think we're splitting hairs, though.
I think that's more special. I think
that's splitting. You guys we're splitting hairs, and we're making the question too complicated. You're saying, "Oh, I need her this way, but I don't need her this way. Oh, she needs me this way, but she doesn't need me this way."
Yeah.
No, there is no this way or that way. They either need you for something or they don't. That is like, we cannot split hairs on this shit. They either need you or they don't.
No, we're not splitting hairs. It's fair.
I get what he's saying. It
doesn't matter.
It's like you either take me as a whole with the internal and external. You know what I mean?
Or
like,
you don't.
You could take someone who's going to be there but is going to be broke, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean that.
When you say you need.
And I'm sorry, just to go back to Ari's, like, I'm glad that the girl I'm with, like, she's been with me from the jump, like, when I had a business and it was thriving, when the business wasn't thriving, till now. So, everything that he's saying, I'm just glad that I haven't experienced, women like that, and I'm glad I don't have to, that I got my partner, my life partner, and we're engaged and we're going to figure things out. But, it sucks that there's statistics out there and there's generations younger than us that have to deal with this. So I'm just listening to his points of view and just thinking like, damn, I guess this is some shit that I'm blind to, because I don't have girls in my DMs. She doesn't have guys in her DMs. Like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing that I try to coin is hear the perspective as if it's happening, but you have not experienced it. Because too often people get triggered and they wish to oppose it instead of trying to see it for a possibility that it is.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People automatically jump to the opposition.
So you said that we're splitting hairs when we're talking about needing somebody, right? But when you use the word need, right? You need them for something. So it is fair to say, like, well, what do we need them for, right? If
because like you could be
right?
with the financially stable person, but it's like one of those things where it's like, I have everything, but something's missing. You know what I'm saying?
Then you don't need them.
Exactly. So
then you don't need them. That's what I'm saying. Then you shouldn't be with a person that you don't need.
Well, but you might need them for a certain thing.
Then you're just using them. If you need something, if you will fight tooth and nail for it, listen very closely. If you need something, you will fight tooth and nail for it, and you will do everything you can to create an environment in which you attain what you want. When you don't need it, you will not give your all. We know this to be fact, and this translates in relationships.
So, time out. Now I'll say this.
I don't think
I kind of understand it a little bit better now. So would you say that your needs can change?
Yes.
Okay.
That changes a lot of that's moving the goalpost, and that's changing a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
It complicates the relationship extremely.
Yeah.
So you have to, that's why you have to first know exactly what your needs are, basic needs. You need to ditch all the extra shit and then just really come to the realization, do I want to be with this person for who they are? Does their personality optimize the quality of my day-to-day life? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And that when you're following these instinctive cues,
that's not a need anymore. It's an extra added benefit.
Say that again. What did you say?
Oh, I said, well, like, if you're looking at it, okay, aside from my basic needs.
I think she said it's not a need anymore. It's a benefit of it.
Okay, so
the benefit is the material stuff.
Yeah. So basically, like, if you're like, okay, my basic needs are that. What I'm hearing you say is that you have to need someone in order to fight for that relationship.
Right.
But I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think because need implies that if you don't have that, then you're fucked. Like, what are you going to do? You can't survive without them.
Correct.
It's like air.
I feel like it's a bit of a toxic mentality to have.
But you know what's the problem, though?
Don't you think that might be a bit of a toxic mentality?
It is. It very much is.
I see that.
And toxic in what regard?
It's like dependent on them.
So like it's codependency. Yeah, it's codependency. If I don't have this person, my life is nothing. I am nothing. I cannot survive without this person.
Well, no. You come into relationships a full person. No. You come into relationships a full person, and then when this person comes into your life and they optimize your life, yeah, you can live without them, but you need them in their life because you want that final piece. That's what it is, right? You can't really explain it, right? You just need that person.
Yeah.
That's it's a very unexplainable. It's a very unexplainable emotion, right? When you just need somebody.
Okay, so you're talking about love.
Of course.
You're talking about. So it's a different. I guess where we're differing is is the definition of need that we're.
Yes, that is where we are different. And what I'm trying to explain.
Love, this person spiritually. Okay.
People are following the wrong needs. They're not even following needs. They're following wants. Do you need somebody who's just going to optimize your life despite what they offer? Them just being there just makes you happy. And then when they're gone, you feel the emptiness, regardless of how full you are.
Well,
that's like my dog. My dog ain't paying shit. I need my dog.
Exactly.
The issue with that is because a lot of people get into relationships, right? And they don't even have their own selves figured out. So they rely on someone else for their own happiness.
Yes.
And all of that. And that's why it's just like, well, that's why before you get in a relationship, you need to have, like, discovered who you are.
Yeah.
And I think, and there's this thing I kind of like believe is like, you can't be someone else's other half if you ain't a completed person.
Correct.
And so you need to be able to understand that you can be happy on your own right now. But if you think you're not happy right now because you don't have someone, then you can't be with someone, because that means you're depending on your happiness with them. Because what if that person wakes up the next day and says, I don't love you anymore. I can't be with you. What happens to your world? You need to understand, like, well, I used to have a life where I was happy without this person. That's why it's important for you to understand before you jump into something so serious. I mean, yeah, I get it. People want to get in, like, just date around and fuck around. Go ahead. But at the end of the day, you're always going to feel like an emptiness from that because there's nothing else fulfilling from it, because all you did was fuck around and you got all of that. So now you got to go through this whole soul searching, let's call it, and figure out who the fuck you are and what it is you want. And then the person you find to be with you is going to be that person that provides that happiness for you that you could share with someone. And if that happiness dies out, at least you know you can be happy on your own.
You had it, though.
And I also think if it was just strictly a biological thing, then, like, a lot of shit doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Marriage.
And a lot, and there wouldn't really be a lot of, you know what I mean, like, complications with the process. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot more involved, certain variables, whether you want to call it like planetary, astrological, variables, or some kind of spiritual component to it that things need to align. Because, like Jermaine said, you can have a family, but if it's with someone that you really don't vibe with, then it could feel empty. You know what I'm saying? So it transcends a biological matrix, I think. You know what I'm saying?
So people end up in those relationships.
I would argue that in order.
Well, I was just going to say people.
I would argue that in order.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
I was going to say I would argue that in order I would argue that to increase your chances of being in a healthy relationship, you need to already have your needs met. You need to already be in a place where you don't need anything, and you just have that person adds extra benefit to your life. They're only going to add to your life. They don't necessarily. You don't necessarily need them, because when you need that person, right, it implies again that if you don't have them, then your life will fall apart and everything is fucked up. So I think like it should be an added benefit to have that person.
So the counter argument
in definition. So
my counter argument is though, when you need something, you will fight tooth and nail for it. If you need her, you will give her your all. If she needs you, she will give you her all. If you don't need each other, then you will not give each other your all.
And you can't fight to the fullest to get your needs if you're not complete. You know what I'm saying?
True. So you must first complete yourself, and then know what you need to optimize your life. You don't need your life to be better, but you know what would optimize it and bring more value and bring more comfort into your day-to-day. Is that something that you need? Do you need optimization?
Yeah, it's interesting because the thing I said about like your needs change too. It's kind of funny because like sometimes when you're not complete, your definition of what you need at the time is skewed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you acquire it, you're like, damn, I could have done it without it. I didn't really need it. You know what I mean? But because of that false sense of I need it, you could get exploited too. And I think that's where the problems that you're talking about occur. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where it's not necessarily a need, like what you said about like these, again, like
the attraction cues,
a job, all this stuff, and
those are all attraction
cues. There's
cues.
obviously government programs to fill the needs, so you don't necessarily need to go start OnlyFans. There's different ways to accumulate the need. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you're talking about financial thing, that's not a need. It's almost like a way of completing yourself instead of like a, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like a car. Like once a car is complete, all it needs is fuel. You know what I mean? But when a car isn't complete, then you're like, oh, I need tires, bro. You know, oh, I need
Right, you still got the car, but it needs fuel. The car needs fuel. The car's working fucking fine. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But if you want to optimize travel, you better put some gasoline in that fucking shit. It's the same fucking thing. Yeah. It's like you're working fine. The male body's working fine. But if you want to progress further and expand your lineage, you're gonna need to secure.
If you're not, but what I'm saying is, if you're not a complete car, you're like what matters more to you to acquire are wheels. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so you might fall into the psyop of I need the best wheels, dog, to the point where you don't even have enough money for fuel anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, because people are following.
When an experienced person could be like, oh, don't worry about the wheels, dog. Just as long as you can ride, you're fine. You know what I mean?
Because you're following attraction cues, bro. Yeah. I even tell guys.
That's the thing when you get into like a relationship when you're not, like you guys are saying, like a completed person. Then you have that void, and so you're using that person to fill that void. And once they fill that void, you don't see any more, let's say value in that person because they're filling it. And so now your attraction, you feel like you don't need them anymore, but then you lose them, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh shit, like this person was filling this void that I couldn't find for myself. So that's why you have to go on this whole path of, I need to complete that myself, because if I don't, I'm going to depend on the next person to fill that void. And if they don't fill that void, I'm going to fuck that up again. It's just a vicious cycle.
And just to bring it back to, I said, I feel like you need a partner because you need to unite spiritually, become whole, like male and female. Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing. I feel like if you try to fill in a void when you're not complete, once you fill in that void, the next void's going to pop up. Opposed to when all you need is the final piece to fill in the void, which is male and female unity, then there's no more voids. You know what I mean? Right. I feel like you're spiritually, alchemically complete in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
So we've all come to an agreement that first and foremost, you must be full in yourself before you can pursue a relationship. Second, you must be stable enough to be able to sustain a family. And third, once those attraction cues fade, you must be mature enough to know that you need this person, despite the fact that their beauty has faded, despite the fact that their money has dwindled, despite the fact that the attraction is gone. You still need this person. They played a valuable part. They were a valuable asset in your life. So why would you just leave them? That's my thing. And people just leave after the attraction's gone, after the honeymoon phase.
Okay, one more thing I'll say though. Let's say you have the perfect partner though, right? And then
No
the
such thing.
fucking well, let's just say, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Your ideal partner.
Yeah, your
Right,
ideal
okay.
partner.
There's
your
no perfect,
soulmate.
but there's an ideal.
But, you know, Sydney Sweeney DM'd you, you know? Because of attraction, you go cheat, you know, and you ruin your needs based on this fake need that sprouted up because of your...
Well, it's not a
You
fake
know,
need. It's a biological cue.
It is a fake need because, like, you know what I mean? Like, you got attracted to titties and ass when, like, you should be, you know what I mean, needing more resources to take care of your already family, you know what I mean? You almost abandoned the internal game for an external game to
I
start
wouldn't
over.
so much use the word fake. I would use the word trivial.
Well, it depends if they're fake tits.
Okay. It's a trivial pursuit. It's a trivial pursuit to pursue fake or real tits outside of your relationship.
Well, as far as
it's
lust,
not-
in a
it's
lust
not-
aspect, it's fake. You know what I mean?
It's not even a biological need because you don't need to fuck Sydney. What's her name? Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, I said
Hey, don't-
I said a biological. I said a cue.
Don't speak for me.
I said a biological cue. It's not a need like breathing, but it's a biological cue.
Yeah.
What that cue does is it
don't know that.
initiates something. What does it do? It initiates horniness. Did somebody say I don't know that? But
No, he
Yeah,
said,
bro,
he said
like-
that.
you have to fight those cues, you know, or else find a girl who wants to be in an open relationship. See, that's the thing. Motherfuckers lie. They get with girls. They tell them they're the one and do all this shit and then later cheat on them. It's like, no.
Everyone plays a fool.
So,
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna
Sometimes.
talk about like we're biologically, you know what I mean, supposed to,
hardwired.
we're hardwired to procreate, then what's the point of males like staying with a female partner long term when, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, look at the
eventually
past.
They hit
Did niggas-
menopause and to procreate more than
Did
you-
niggas do that before? Niggas was not really doing that. I mean, there was niggas marrying, but most powerful men had multiple women, and they got rid of the
Yeah.
ones that were arguing with them. So our own history shows that men did this. You know what I mean? So I'm not sitting here and
I don't know. I
I'm not-
wasn't there.
But what are the side effects? What are the side effects of that when the females gain power? You know, you kind of shot yourself in the foot. You dig?
What do you mean the side effects when
Okay,
women-
this almost disrespect of females because you have an abundance of them. Like once the tables turn, the females have power, and the females don't need males. Then they go back. Obviously, what Neek said, like most of the females have this mentality out of spite of trust issues or getting fucked over by
Correct.
male.
Oh yeah.
So-
It's not, I wouldn't say it's out of spite. I'd say it's out of necessity, right? It's
Defense or survival,
needing
It's
to
a
right?
be
defensive
able to
mechanism,
survive.
yes.
Yes, survival.
Yeah.
I don't think it's defensive mechanism. It's just women now have the opportunity to survive financially without men. And we have women, me personally, I think a lot of women might have the same experience, right? You want to be able to provide your own security so that if something happens, you're going to be okay. So I don't think that it's a defense mechanism or it's out of spite. I think it's out of necessity. It's out of survival.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying that it's something that shouldn't exist. If it didn't exist, I wouldn't be here. All I'm saying is, because it exists, it makes it harder for men to mate with women because women will not accept a man that's making less than them. Most women, most women will not. Will you date a McDonald's manager? Will you date a McDonald's employee?
Me?
Will you date a Subway worker?
Yeah, I would.
You would.
Yeah,
A girl-
she'd be bombing and making sandwiches.
She'd be.
You got
and
the
she'd be-
footlong cookies now, bro.
What I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is that you as a woman are a part of the minority when you say that though, because most women will not accept that.
I think most women say
I
that, but they don't
disagree.
mean it. Though. You know.
Well, no,
I
it's
disagree.
politically
I think,
correct.
like-
It's politically correct for them to
Well,
say
Do you
that.
think
Right
maybe there's more girls who would accept a man who works at McDonald's, but people talk about more of the girls who won't
I
take
think
a
for
man?
me, that's not necessarily true. I think what's important for me personally, again, what's important to me is if somebody shows that they want more. You know, going back to what I was saying about what I value in my life and who I want
So that's
to choose to
hypergamy.
surround myself with.
He can't
It'd
be Batman
different
right now,
if
but
this person works at McDonald's and that's all they want to do with their lives. That's not the. No, he doesn't have to make more than me. He doesn't have to be richer than me, but I would like somebody who wants to strive for more, not necessarily strive for more than me.
So you just supported the fact that women are hypergamous, because even though he's not gonna be Batman,
No, because
you still listen.
means that you want somebody
him
above you.
That's code word for he needs to make more money or he needs to acquire more assets to qualify. That's all that is. That's all that you're saying.
It's not. It's not. Because if that was the case, I would have said that
you just literally said if he's a McDonald's worker, he has to.
I want him to strive for more.
So you want him to get out of McDonald's?
I think he just wants. She's looking for ambition. Like it's not dependent.
She wants him to like not be so comfortable and complacent at McDonald's.
So let's say he's a yogi. You know what I mean? He wants to like float.
I understand.
Hey, man.
I understand this, but
I like my life.
It doesn't matter how you guys try to code it. He has to become higher than the level that he is right now.
Yeah, that could be like martial arts, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, martial arts. It could be anything, right? It could be anything.
But hypergamy means higher than myself.
Right.
But she just said.
Okay, so let me rephrase it then. Let me rephrase it.
Hypergamy means that I want them to be higher than myself. Yeah.
They have to.
Okay, how about this? Let me cut in, Nick, real quick. Let's say your man wanted to be the best Pokemon trading card player. Is that enough?
Okay. Like, as in, it's not an actual job. That's his hobby, or like.
Yeah,
like he's like about to quit fucking McDonald's and just do that.
No one ever was.
I'll let you know right now. I'll let you know.
For me personally, I would want somebody who wants to make enough money where we can have kids and have a house and be comfortable. I don't need Batman, you know. I don't need like the crazy rich person. I just need somebody who wants to build with me and wants to be on the same track that I'm on, has the same idea of what lifestyle we want. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm looking for somebody who can take care of me 100%. I don't want that. I don't want somebody paying for everything for me.
Right. So what I'm trying to tell you is the cues that make women attracted to men are not commonly found in those guys that you're talking about.
But you're a male saying that. That's weird.
How is that weird?
Telling us what attracts women to men? Or I'm thinking about men to women.
No, I'm talking about women to men. Women.
Okay.
I'm talking about women to men. You know, like she just she by her own admission, the guy has to level up in some way, shape, or form. So right there, that's an indicator that if he stays at the current level that he's at, she will leave him. She's not going to take care of him long term.
Well, she's also just saying she wants to see that he wants more for himself.
Yeah.
Rather than just being complacent at like flipping a burger. If he's like, you know what, I want to be the manager at this McDonald's.
Yeah, that's
okay,
better.
cool. At least you got an ambition to be more than what you are now. She just
correct.
I think what she's saying, she just wants to see the guy want to do more for himself than be comfortable in the position he's in.
You guys, I'm not demonizing her for saying this. I'm just telling you guys this is innate. This is innate nature of all women. They'll say that they want a guy the way he is, but then later they'll be like, oh, I hope he has ambition though, so that he goes higher in some way, shape, or form. Oh, I hope he gets a little bit buffer, maybe loses a little bit more weight. In some way, shape, or form, he has to perform. He has to meet a certain criteria, or else eventually she will leave him. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So as a man, you have to first fulfill those needs and fulfill the attraction cues. And then when you have her in a comfortable position where you can have open dialogue, you tell her, hey, this is how I attracted you. I might not be able to do it years from now when I'm old and I'm balding and I'm not looking as good as I am. Will you still need me then? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Women go for the top guy. He doesn't have to be the
values would be
richest.
different at that point.
He doesn't have to be the richest. He doesn't have to be the flyest, but he's making up for it somewhere. And if he's not making up for it somewhere, he better for sure do it soon.
What kind of, and we'll end with this because this conversation going forever. What about the bum motherfuckers that are the side dudes? You know what I'm saying?
The side dudes are easy to control.
They still hit though.
They hit women.
So that disrupts any like loyalty because of resources. You can be Leonidas and some fool can slip in, you know what I mean?
He's fulfilling a need that you aren't. Case in point.
Well, I'm thinking more of like he wasn't there at the time, and you know what I mean.
It doesn't matter. He's fulfilling some kind of leadership or some kind of dominant role, need some kind of masculine need that you are not fulfilling for your woman. That's all it is, bro.
Shit, I got the perfect
when
question.
women cheat, they actually cheat on guys they like with guys that they like. Guys can go fuck some girl that they don't care about and go back with their fucking wife and be like, babe, I still fucking love you, and they really do still love you. But when a girl cheats, that's over, bro. Her heart is gone. She's not with you anymore, bro. So that's what I'm saying. That guy fulfilled some need or some role that you failed in. She's looking for the top guy in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know.
If you're not performing, that's what I'm saying. You have to perform, and then you have to be able to show this girl.
I think what you're saying. I think what you're saying is true, but it's not always true.
No,
I don't like
it's
speaking
not.
in absolutes.
So no, I'm speaking in generalities.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, Neek does not come off to be as a person like that. You know what I mean? So,
but would you say it's also a psyop to have people thinking that that's the general?
Oh yeah, that too.
Landscape?
And that's
statistics show.
So this is exactly why. This is exactly why I. Yeah, this is exactly why I say the things that I say. Because regardless if it's true or not, there is a psyop.
Yeah.
That I have to counteract against. See, I will play the bad guy. I will take up the rogue ninja role. I will scratch my
You're
head.
Bane right now.
I will slash my headband.
You do not have
You know
value.
what I'm saying? Just to put the message out. But like,
I was born in
it's
hot
a psyop.
brick.
It's a psyop. It's a psyop. Now choose your poison and choose your battle. Right?
Choose your psyop. I got the perfect 3 questions to. Well, not even the 3 questions. Perfect question to sign off. We'll go down the panel. I'll start with me. 3 things that you need.
Oh my god.
Pussy, money, weed.
Wow.
Pretty accurate for most men.
Wait, and just in general?
Yeah, man.
Fuck. Or
3
like
needs.
from someone or just like in life?
Just in life, bro.
Fuck. I need money. I need peace. And I need stability.
PC, money, stability.
Me, I'll take the peace. For sure. I'll take the peace. I need order.
Like a number 5 with fries?
And above all else, loyalty.
Loyalty.
Yes, sir.
Let's go with Francis and we'll end with Nick.
Money,
Francis,
family,
what do you need, Francis? What do
money,
you need, bro?
money, my family, and my girl.
Damn.
Made us all look like a bunch of bitches just now. Thanks, Francis.
Made me look selfish.
This girl staring at him right now is fucking. She's reading a teleprompter.
I was gonna say she's doing him like Chef Wife did him.
I'm gonna go home and be like, babe, I meant stability as in us.
When I said pussy, I meant you.
He said,
I meant peace. I meant between us, girl.
He's
What
looking
you
like,
talking
I need to
about?
massage her feet every day.
He said, my girl, and my girl.
I said Sam and Navarro.
He spit hot fire.
She's smiling cheek to cheek right now, looking at that shit.
All right, Nick, let's end with you.
I would say my family. fries, and
Say
the ability to pursue my
French
French
fries.
fries.
I thought
Yeah, I'd like
Geeks
to
all about
consider
fries
myself
before
a
guys.
fry connoisseur.
That is fun.
So I
Potato
say
corner must be
family
your shit.
fries and no, just McDonald's fries.
Oh,
It's
okay.
top tier. And then the last one is the ability to pursue my career because I love what I do.
loved it.
Oh yeah. Well, shit. Let's wrap it up. Nick, where can we find you outside the cave? Let's sign off.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Nick_Kultura Tattoo or that website right there. Come through to Kultura Tattoo for Friday the 13th. It's this Friday. There's going to be some great deals on tattoos. We try to do it a little bit differently where, they're bigger designs, a little bit more intricate. It's not just like the basic little bangers that you usually get on Friday the 13th. So definitely come through. We're also going to have some goodies for you to take home. It starts at 9 a.m. First come, first serve, walk-ins only.
Hell yeah. Make sure you check her out on Instagram. Check us out on all social media platforms at The Cave. Check us out at cave.com, k4v3.com. Let's get out of here. Peace out.
Guys.
Peace
Gang,
out,
gang.
guys.
Bye.
Hey, Brandon, where's your mom, dude?
You better hop on Call of Duty. Fuck those fucking Filipinos.
Hey,
You're not marrying my fucking mom, you pieces of shit.
Where's your mom, dude?
Go collect dust.
are you going to
coconut
carry my
trees.
seeds?
Go collect
Are you
dust
willing to
with the
carry my
manananggal.